This episode comes with a content warning for desecration of a corpse. Thank you, and enjoy the show. Greetings and salutations, and welcome to Flintlocks and Fireballs, where a handful of mad actors will attempt to survive the treacherous waters of Dungeons and Dragons. I am your host and Dungeon Master Jason Phelps, and I'm joined as ever by Robbie Bellekom and the Sorceress Stone, Sam Burns and the Chamber of Halflings, and Ellie Sparrow and the Prisoner of Carefully Avoiding Copyright Infringement.
Yay! Carefully avoiding copyright infringement. There's not a basilisk in there, there's just a lawyer looking angry. Taking videos down off Twitter's left, right, and centre. It's really scary. Oh.
So how are we all?
3 more weeks of quarantine.
At least. Definitely more.
Definitely
more.
more.
3 weeks is more optimistic.
Honestly, like, if it's not more, what are they doing? Really?
Yeah.
Like, truthfully.
How many months till autumn now?
Like so
5?
many? So many.
When does autumn happen? Does autumn happen in September?
Yeah.
Yeah, like
Broadly,
5 months.
yeah.
5 months, really.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which feels like a long time.
It is.
Feels like a very long time.
That is, yeah, not
Our
on a
latest,
geological scale.
Our latest quarantine update is that me and Jason have a cafetiere now. That's exciting.
Nice.
The impulse
Fancy
buying
Yeah.
has kicked in.
It's very fancy. It's very exciting. It's good. I
You
can see why
should
people like
see
real
the
coffee.
rubbish I have bought online. It is not a good coping mechanism.
No.
I've been mostly restrained, but I did
fairly
buy a
restrained.
cafetiere and a fit of peak at
We
half
are
one in the morning the
currently
other day.
drinking some Irish coffees from the new cafetiere.
But we're making use of it.
Nice.
Very good. I'm currently on a quest
Did we
for a
get
bread
this
maker.
morning? Did it get delivered this morning?
Yes.
Yeah. Time is strange.
Today feels like it was a long time. A very long time.
I have no idea where you get a bread maker when car boot sales aren't happening.
Yeah.
I feel like they don't exist new anymore.
It's been surprisingly
I mean, they
difficult
definitely
to
do,
try.
but
I think normally it would be easy, but everybody is like, I will make my own bread because I'm inside and bored, exactly the same as me.
Yep.
Yeah.
So there aren't any.
And at our point in the timeline, the millers, the Guild of Millers, or whatever it is, have not yet finished milling more flour since the panic buying.
I would like to know from future Jason if future Ellie has a bread maker by now.
Spoiler alert.
well,
Messages from the present. It's future Jason with messages from the present. Thank you, first of all. Just a small bit of personal thanks to all of our stowaways, everyone listening at home or out for your daily government-mandated exercise, or whatever point in the future you are listening to this. Thank you for tuning in. You're the reason we keep telling these stories. This episode of Flintlocks and Fireballs is brought to you by you. As ever, a massive thanks to our crew members on the Flintlocks Patreon who help keep this ship sailing. There is, as ever, a wealth of extra content and bonus features for patrons, including regular blog posts, extra stories narrated by the cast, artwork, and a monthly poll for the community to help design an element to go into the game. In particular, I'd like to draw your attention to Norrit's Tall Tales, released monthly, written, narrated, and produced by Sam Burns, and recounting here and there the tales of the unique Norrit Nagerson. Well worth checking out. You can check all of this out at patreon.com/Flintlocks and Fireballs. Link in the description. Again, we'd like to mention the online group heist game, Agent Venture, where you and your socially distant friends can infiltrate a corrupt corporation's HQ with nothing more than a laptop and an internet connection. Ellie and I are working on continued development for this, and will both be GMs in this game, so you can check out, as before, the link in the description. Also, I'm so sorry, Ellie. The bread maker arrived, It was lovely, and then it broke. The fan belt first, and then the motor. I'm so sorry. And that is it for announcements this time. Back to you, Past Jason. Well, I suppose that's that question answered once and for all.
Yep, I can't say I'm surprised.
Yeah.
When's your birthday in comparison to how many episodes we have recorded?
It's the 11th of June. I've no idea in episodes.
So a
when that
while,
is.
yeah.
Yeah.
We haven't got that many pre-recorded right now.
1, 2.
How far
We're
ahead are
about
we?
we're about 8 episodes away-ish, depending on how many we pre-record. Actually, no, we're planning to catch up up a little bit, so it's more like 10.
We're a long way away from my birthday.
Yeah.
Although
So future Jason won't know if you got a bread machine for your birthday.
No, that's very true.
that is true, because this is going to come out, like 4 weeks later? Something like that? Yeah.
Something like that.
Next week is... 4 weeks. Yeah. We have to get another couple on. And on that cheerful note, of just random time scaling, it's time to begin.
We're outside in our minds instead.
It's time to go outside in our minds and fondly imagine being closer than 6 feet to strangers. Flintlocks and Fireballs. Our land stands on the sabre's edge.
Our cities are a powder keg.
Brother chains, brother, no one's free. A life on land is short, you'll see.
So gather your muskets, gather your spears, we'll plunder the shores of Calcinea. No kraken, storm or spell we fear, so come and sail with us, my dear.
Previously on Flintlocks and Fireballs. The party have at last reunited Leah Leodon and her husband Michael John Boot. There were a number of complications associated with this, including one unwittingly forged inheritance, an assassination plot, I mean more like just like an open hit put on Michael, a set of bandits who the party initially killed a baker's dozen of, and then sort of talked round into hiring as Michael's bodyguard. And let's not forget a villainous plan to keep a large number of people enslaved through legalese, and one gesh that was laid. I have been assured that the pronunciation is gesh.
Oh, who assured you?
Oh, okay.
Honestly, the person who assured me is David, my best friend already on Twitter and all through the Comic Life on the Fourth Floor.
Also did our logo.
Who also did our logo, and speaks better Irish pronunciation than I do.
Fair enough.
So, Geshes notwithstanding, the party, I believe, rounded things off last time with a little bit of looking ahead and a couple of surprise visits from the future, including a revelation to Corzin that one day he will end up in one of Norrit's tall tales, if the future holds as it is now.
Oh, we have to make that future happen.
Which it must.
too.
It absolutely must.
Yeah, the question is this the same future where you all die? I mean,
Worth it.
unless you're
Worth
immortal,
it.
that's technically all futures, but... So, with that in mind, having just made a number of discoveries, including, I believe, the currently likely to happen assassination of Vasilisa Kotzol by the long ago and to a degree long forgotten Thurling Thimbleberry. That particular rabbit popped out of the hat a little bit early.
The floating skull man.
Yes. You are literally just along the road towards Herbertsville. What do you wish to do? It's the 9th of full ripeness, and it is an overcast but no longer raining day.
Right.
So we need to cash
Lots
in
to
these
do.
13 heads, don't we?
Yeah,
Yeah.
and get rid of the rest of the bounty afterwards.
Yes, we need to do that. There's also a bounty on Michael to be considered, which is still
Yeah.
a problem.
That needs to go
I
away.
feel like that's
Yeah, we
a
have to-
bigger problem.
We probably have to go directly to the source for that one.
What is the source? Vandasars?
I would guess, yes.
Yeah,
They're quite
sounds
a
likely.
big, scary family. I'm not saying we can't, I'm just saying they might have a lot of protection that we need to think about.
Yes, most likely.
People can be persuaded, though. Apparently.
And you're very persuasive.
Maybe, I don't know, maybe while we're in Herbertsville we could ask around about Gold Star trading as well, just on the off chance.
Yeah, that's come up too many times to not be looked into.
Yeah, whenever I see something from one of those bubbles, I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know if I'm paranoid, I just feel like it must be significant. Why did
I
it
don't
show
see
me those
why. Yeah.
bits?
Why would it be there if it wasn't?
Yeah. Why out of every possible bit of time ever did it show me those, 8 things or whatever it was?
Everything's always been relevant up till now.
It has.
Like everyone who comes back or forward has some form of connection. All the random places you go to, it's always
You think?
there's something.
Well, even if it's not immediately obvious.
Yeah,
well,
later on we then go, oh yeah, that makes sense. Whoops.
Maybe they're all connected somehow, even if it's through, a few steps.
Yeah.
It feels like it
Well,
would
I
make
mean-
sense.
There's... What's the old saying about you're never supposed to be more than 6 steps away from anybody else?
That's not right. I'm more than 6 steps away from loads of people right now.
I mean...
Like,
more metaphorical steps,
wisdom, victory. I
If you
mean,
want to visit us with them
Leah.
in dreams, we can do that.
In fact, I'm only 6 steps near anyone. You two. There's no one else about.
but... Well,
Yes,
Jeffrey.
Jeffrey.
Quite.
I didn't mean to leave you out, Jeffrey.
Did you forget Jeffrey?
No. I just always assume Jeffrey is right there. So
I always
he
assume
doesn't
he's
need
there
a
because I
counterfeit.
can smell the shit coming out of my bag again. It's twice today already. Fine,
He
prestidigitation.
had a lot of cake.
Why are you feeding a monkey cake?
It was good
I did
cake.
wonder why he was so hyper.
I hadn't noticed the difference. So, Herbertsville. Give people the
Yes.
heads, and then
Yes.
ask them to cut the bounty off once we've got some of it.
It's just awkward carrying that many heads around if you're not going to cash them in, frankly.
Yeah, but just like turning them over, taking the money, and then being like, so can you waive the rest? It's actually kind of mental, and I hadn't really thought about it.
I had.
Really?
I enjoyed the thought.
I've been preoccupied. It's really funny. We should definitely do it, but it's going to be quite the job to sell that.
Oh well.
Maybe you could sell it on the grounds of its community service or something, I don't know.
Well, I guess we continue on our way to Herbertsville.
Okay, you carry on, and
Yeah.
with the aid of magical horses, are able to reach Herbertsville by, I want to say, like 5 o'clock in the afternoon. Like, those horses are scarily fast. You cover like 10 miles an hour with those, which isn't fast
Oh,
in
wow.
the standards of, like cars, but for
No,
most
but
people,
with horses, that's a lot, yeah.
well, they're unlike real horses. You can ride them at full pelt until they stop existing.
Yeah.
Real horses will just collapse.
And after
Yeah,
a
real
fashion,
horses
they will
get
also
tired.
stop
Probably
existing.
just refuse
if you
to
ride them for
move,
that
I would
long.
imagine is more likely, to be honest. Yeah.
Oh.
Horses.
Horses. So
Horses.
you you ride into the town of Herbertsville with its reasonably swanky looking city hall, well, town hall with the painted sandstone columns to look a bit like marble. And of course, the Broken Wheel at the Broken Wheel Saloon as well. Where would you like to go? What would you like to do?
Where is this bounty supposed to be cashed in at? Do we know?
So it was to be cashed in with Sheriff Peterson.
Alright, let's go and see if
Definitely
the...
also the person that will write it off, isn't he?
It sounds likely.
I think we should just do both at once. We just fuck it and be like, oh, pay us for these, but also...
You really
unless
need to
it's
stop.
the judge and we need to go to the courthouse.
Oh, maybe the judge is the one that actually writes it off. But Sheriff Peterson might help us.
I'm not sure why.
We're really nice and extremely
We
inviting
are.
as people.
That's true.
Well,
We're
the
lovely.
whole reason that they presumably put a bounty out on these people in the first place was they were deemed to be an enemy to the public good. If we can prove that they're not anymore, one way or the other.
They're wanted for desertion. You can't just ask nicely for that to go away.
Well, quite, no.
And smuggling, and also some powerful people put the bounty out because they think they're a problem.
Difficult.
Yeah.
I mean, there must be a way to make it go away, mustn't there?
I hope so.
Otherwise we're a bit fucked, really, aren't we? Michael's just got some bodyguards that'll be murdered after a while.
Yeah.
Could we...
I mean, could we sell it as the Van der Sars have a terrible plot to do terrible things and Michael's the only thing stopping them, so Mill Hill has to protect him so there can't be a bounty on her because now she's useful? That was a lot of
Yeah.
steps, but does that make sense?
Maybe?
I mean, the only other thing I could think of, and I'm not entirely sure how we'd do this, but convince them that some of the heads we've got are Mill Hill and some of her closest associates, and that the rest of the gang has just split.
Well, that's a bit horrible and clever.
I'm not sure I believe the Mill Hill bit, but the rest of it's true.
How
It
many
is.
of them are female?
There are... Hold on. Roll me a d12. Roll me 2 d12s, please.
Okay. Oh, d12s.
Actually, roll me 1 d12 first.
Okay, 1d12. 9.
Roll me a d8.
A d8. 5.
9 of the bodies are female. 5 of those female bodies are also halflings.
Okay, I think that's the bigger problem.
I mean,
Also, technically speaking, you don't have the bodies, you have the heads. So, 5 of those heads are feminine halfling heads.
this is a bit grim.
Yeah.
It's
I
really
think colour
grim.
hair was prestidigitation.
This is.
Can I do
sort
that on
of
dead
what I was-
people?
You can do it on any sort of fabric, and, well, hair is the fundament of fabric, so as you snap your fingers, one of the hair, one of them just starts to get a lovely red head of hair on a grim-looking, slightly stretched face, frozen in horror. In the moment. of
How long does that last?
an hour.
An hour?
Actually, maybe longer. Let me just check because we have.
Oh, it is leveled
Oh,
up.
yeah,
prestidigitation.
expanded.
It is
It's,
leveled up. We've got the increased extended cantrips up.
Slightly more wholesome use for that would be amusing little Corzin next time we're around him. Just change your hair color randomly, or
Change
his
this
even.
hair colour, that'd be great fun.
Oh,
Give him blue hair.
yes. It is still an hour, but you can do it to 5 things at once.
Okay. I mean, if we knew they were going to bury them within the hour or whatever, how long do you hold on to a severed head?
Ages.
I think possibly they just want it for means of identification. Once they're satisfied, it's like, we'll just chuck it away.
This is...
Or it's let's stick it on a pole somewhere for everyone to see.
I mean, this is awful. Like, really awful. We could
Go on.
buy some dye.
Yeah? That's
We
another
could dye
option.
the hair red. This is assuming that none of them are ginger. I feel like you would have said if one of them was.
Roll a d4, and then -1. Yeah, -1.
3.
2 of them... Alright, so there's 2 reddish-haired ones. Now, just roll me 2 d20s. This is a luck check.
Okay.
So, 1 from Celestia, 1 from Corzin, in case one of them is a 1.
Okay.
7.
5.
Oh, God.
They're both red, but they're not quite the same shade of red as Mildred's. And also, they're not quite the right style. Mildred's was like a little bit more frizzy. One has like a sort of slight curl to the hair. Another has straight sort of auburn hair.
We could dye it and backcomb it. I'm just saying.
If
that could
that's
work.
a more... Yeah.
It's awful, but it will save lives horribly.
This was my thinking, and I mean, what about the rest of the features? Is if we take one of the wanted posters?
It's a dead person, isn't it? That's the thing. They don't look quite right.
Well, no, quite.
They really don't. Okay. Give me 2 more luck checks for how close these figures superficially resemble Mildred Millhill.
Do you want to do one? I'll do one.
Yeah.
Sure.
10.
2.
One of them, the one with the one with the straight hair, has a similar nose, although the jaw's not quite right.
Okay, so we cut off the frizzy hair. We put it on the one with
okay.
the straight hair. And then we dye it and backcomb it. Perfect, sorted.
This, I'd like to say
I was
that
so
this
worried you were going to say we cut off the nose. I'll be honest.
Oh, that's way worse.
That's the stage you've gotten to.
Ironically, the other one has a better jaw shape. Has a closer jaw shape, but no other matching features.
We could bash her face in and hand that in. I think that would be terrible, though.
This is not even slightly the first time I have roleplayed the desecration of a corpse to full law enforcement in Dungeons and Dragons.
No, I can't pretend it's mine either.
No, I don't
I'm pretty
think
sure
it's
we've
mine
done
either.
this.
I think we did this in our old campaign, Bob, so I feel like this
I think
happened.
we did.
Yeah.
This sounds like something we'd do.
It
Yeah.
feels weirdly
Yeah.
familiar doing it. Maybe I'm just a terrible person, but I thought it, so I said it. There it is.
D&D, where the worst parts of you come out to play.
I mean, if you really want to do this properly, we could just burn a lot of it.
Oh, we could, couldn't we?
That's true. Although
That's way
that
more
might
sensible.
You gotta be careful how much you do that, because if you do it too much, they could just turn around and say, "Well, look, this is not sufficiently intact enough for us to positively identify it."
You know what we should have done? We should have asked her for something, shouldn't we?
Oh, like a recognizable
A recognisable something, like
earring
a token
or something.
yeah.
Something that only she had, which is very obviously recognisable and unusual.
I mean, I could send to her.
That's not a bad idea,
Out of the
actually.
ordinary. Yeah, something out of the ordinary, perhaps.
I suppose there's no harm. I mean, you couldn't send to her necessarily. You'd have to send to what's-his-face.
Yeah, true. I mean, not if they're outside Michael's.
Oh, yeah, that's true. They might be back
Yeah.
there by now.
Shall I try?
Worth it. Yeah, I think it's worth it.
Bill Hill. Darling. No good way to say this. Trying to fake your death. To get police away. Got anything recognisable to forge your corpse. Bye.
There's
We're getting really good at these.
a
So
pause
good. So good.
before. I wish you were still drunk.
That's fair, honestly.
I don't know. My coat, maybe?
Bugger.
My gun? Not really a lot of easily identifiable things on me. You could come back?
Okay, she's got a coat or a gun. The gun could work.
You do recall that Mildred had a very recognisable 6-chambered flint
That's
revolver.
true.
Didn't we have one of those anyway?
Yeah, Corzin has the
There was
pepper
another
box.
one.
Oh. Could we just use that?
Potentially. Something that would probably occur to Corzin is, wait a minute. She's a caster. Does she have an arcane focus?
That's a good point, actually.
Yeah, but she'll need that
Remember
for
what
casting.
her arcane focus was.
I mean, she's not going to... I'll say this in character. She's not going to give us her arcane focus for any length of time.
No, but if we knew what
She
it
had the
looked like,
rings.
She had rings.
Yeah, I think that was it.
if it's rings, we can find a ring that looks like it might be one.
Honestly, I think your gun might be a better bet. If people don't have
I'm
them...
happy to hand that over.
Maybe, I don't know, should I send her and ask her if her gun is like particularly distinctive beyond the fact that it's a weird, spinny one? I'm gonna send her again. Phew.
Yeah.
Does your gun have any markings, distinctions, etc., apart from being spinny? I'm so good at sending.
This is when you're sober.
We have gun like yours, but need to check. Okay, goodbye, bye-bye.
Right. Terrence had one. I've never seen them outside of Gold Star shippings.
Fuck off. What?
So, if someone's seen me with it before, yes.
She got them from Gold Star Shippings. Just saying.
That makes sense, because we've seen someone with one before, didn't we?
Yeah.
She did also mention in the previous episode that when they left their employment smuggling for Gold Star, they basically just took a whole shipment of arms with
They
them.
took a whole load
It's
of
why
shit.
they have the mortars
Yeah.
and the field gun.
She says she's never seen them outside Gold Star Shipping. So
Alright,
I think
well, hopefully that means
one
they're
would
not
it would probably do it, to be
common.
honest.
Alright.
Yeah.
If we
Let's,
burn up this head with the frizzy hair a bit and present that, it might work.
We can but try.
Ugh.
I'm sorry. I said to Scamp, I'm sorry.
It's an idea, isn't it? Ugh.
We might have more luck than if we go in like, oh, we killed 13 of these people. Could we have the money, but also could you not take any more from anyone else?
Yeah.
I think being like, we killed Mill Hill, look, it's probably better. I think Corzin's right on this one, probably.
I
mean-
need to be quiet while we're in there, because I've still got some truths owed.
Yes.
Fair enough.
Yes, you do need. You can't say anything while we're there.
You still have
How
5
about
truths,
then?
that's right.
How about we say that the means by which we got these heads was that they ambushed us, we defended ourselves, there was a fireball, and this was more or less what we could salvage from what was left.
Yes.
from the bodies that were still intact.
That works. I mean, hell, we can tell most of the story.
Precisely.
We can tell the exact story that happened, but...
Well, there's some things we're going to want to leave out.
True.
Like the dragon.
Yeah.
And the flying cart.
Yeah.
And all of the scrying.
All those things. Maybe we just be
where
a
most of
little
the
bit
magic
vaguer
came
and say
from.
there was a fight. And we're adventuring
Yeah.
types and we went looking for the bounty.
Yeah.
Well, we were escorting Michael.
Yes. And they
Yeah.
went for him.
Yeah.
And we were in town a few days ago and we saw the bounty. So we thought we'd bring them back when we were done with them.
Yes.
Makes sense. Alright.
Right. This could work.
Yes.
Okay, let's do this.
Okay.
So, I guess we get Scamp to burn their head a bit.
Where do you want to do this? You're currently near
Open
Herbertsville.
plains.
Okay.
Should we go back out in town a
You
bit?
ride back out. You want to take half an hour to ride 5 miles just out of town.
Yes. At least. Preferably with some sort of hiding place.
Yep. Okay. Give me... Corzin, you can lead this. Give me a survival check to find a good hiding spot. It's all
Okay.
open prairie, so
Can we help? Is that allowed?
none of
Behind
we
the
don't have survival,
cacti
so-
somewhere. Okay, survival. Oh, yes, that's good. That is a 23.
you do find a sheltering copse of trees.
Okay, cool.
One maintained for its wood. So, yes. Okay, you hunker down within the protection of this bunch of trees, and how do you want to? Yeah, how do you want to burn this?
Scamp, you're good at fire?
Jesus. Yeah.
I just like grasp them by the shoulders and go, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. We're making you burn corpses. Sorry. There's a flash of rainbow. You get inspiration.
The head stares at you accusingly.
I'm sorry.
It doesn't. Its expression doesn't change.
Okay, I guess we use a few fire bolts from a distance.
Oh, God. Yeah,
Okay.
that's probably about right, isn't it?
You step well back. Just roll damage for me.
Bolts, not balls.
Oh, I know.
Okay. How many times?
Ooh, I don't know, maybe like try one first and see
Yep.
how it looks.
You kind of
Okay.
place the head on
It's actually quite a
on
lot
a
of
tree
damage,
stump.
isn't it, Firebolt?
You place the head on a tree stump.
Potentially. But, oh, God. Load. My internet's super slow, so I've forgotten how many D10s it is. It's either 2
3.
or 3.
Yeah, I think it's three.
It's
isn't
3
it?
at your
three.
level.
Yeah. So that is 15.
Okay,
God.
you as
This is going to be an adventure where we explode 2 severed heads for no reason, isn't it?
5, 6. Roll a d6 for me, please.
1.
Okay, it strikes the top of the head, blowing a hole in the forehead, and causing because of the force of the flames that you've just put into it, setting the hair on fire entirely, and then hurling the head spinning off into the trees. You watch as
Okay, well that didn't
it
work.
just kind of gives one last glare, furious gaze before it hits the ground and rolls.
I'm going to go
Some dry leaves catch
get
fire.
that, I guess. I'm going to put the dry leaves out.
Unless,
Yeah.
yeah, thaumaturgy to
Yeah.
calm it down a
Put
bit.
out the flames.
You know what also works?
What?
Bonfires.
Yeah. Other people have fires sometimes.
You look at the head. Well, it does look as if it's been damaged by magical fire. There is now a massive charred spot around the forehead and the brow. One of the eyes has popped, and the hair is just and the hair is now a vaguely reddish, blackish mess.
What,
Well,
do you think that'll do it?
The jaw is still kind of giving. The jaw is still a bit of a telltale.
break the jaw.
Yeah.
Wow, I had
suppose.
a really bad upbringing, didn't I? But we could break the jaw. I've said it now.
I hate this. I hate it.
If it's a thing that makes it less identifiable as
I kick
not
it.
Mildred,
I kick
then,
the
yeah.
head. I kick the jaw to try and break it.
So you know
Give it
that
here.
moment in the Lord of the Rings, like the Two Towers,
Yes.
where Viggo Mortensen kicks the head, and he's not expecting the prop to be as heavy as it is.
And he breaks his fucking toe,
yeah,
and they
that
keep it in the film.
happens.
Yeah.
Ow!
You do the full Viggo Mortensen scream.
Ouch! That
The
was
jaw
not my best
now
idea.
has like a bruise. Well, not so much a bruise as like a darkish patch. The skin is a bit torn. You do not have a powerful enough kick to break a bone.
I'm bad at kicking. Somebody else has to do this.
Give it. Can I do a medicine check to surgically break this jaw?
Yes, you can. Make a medicine check. What tool are you using?
It would probably be just thinking, what would he have in his medical kit? Right, yeah, it would be the small hammer that you use for testing the knee reflex action.
Oh, God. Right. Make the medicine check, please.
Okay. This has got to be one of the weirdest medicine checks.
It's kind of the
Okay, that's a
opposite.
16.
Okay, with a 16, what manner of breaking the jaw are you trying to mimic? Like, what sort of injury are you attempting to replicate? Because that's a high enough check for you to fake a specific injury rather than just breaking it. So do you want to make it? Do you want to make it look like a gunshot wound? Do you want to make it look like it was a sword?
No, I'm going to make it look like this is an impact from falling off a horse.
Okay, you are able to do so. You break the jaw in such a way as to mimic a fall damage.
Yeah, because I mean, think about it. If they're riding a horse, they'll fall off. They'll land awkwardly. Yeah.
Now after about 10 minutes of doing this, the only recognizable part of the face is that the hair is reddish, but now blackened and burned, and there is the signature Mill Hill nose.
Imagine if my sister's scrying right now.
She'll probably be very proud.
Be you next, bitch.
Actually, sorry.
What?
Rolling to see what the odds are of it happening. You do feel that sensation just above you.
You are fucking kidding me. What?
Oh fuck.
You can,
See this fucking head over here? You. Soon. Yeah.
you can break the connection.
Fuck
if
you.
wish.
I break the
Yeah,
connection.
you bat up at where you sense the improperly constructed scrying spell, and it just.
Well, I'm freaked out. That was fun.
She'll at least hopefully have no context for that.
Yeah, it's true.
We're not near the town. So.
Nope.
No, we're not.
Nowhere
I mean, this
noticeable.
is now a sort of slightly unidentifiable, burnt, severed head. So it's not really a tell of anything.
Meanwhile, in the ship. So, what's happening? They appear to be gathered around a burnt, severed, broken head. Have you been drinking? Cut back to.
Oh, perfect. It's not quite as good as the puppet show about how awful she is, but it's up there in the best Quilena scries. Celestia is the weirdest person to scry on, like, I swear. Us three to scry on. The odds that we'll be doing something mental is just, like, so
It's
big.
too high. It's too high.
Yeah. Well, should we give it a crack? We've got the gun.
Yeah.
Yep, let's do it.
Oh, right.
Okay. You return back to Herbertsville and take the now fucked up head along with the other.
God.
Some of them are actually burnt from a fireball that you cast, so like it's not inconceivable. Heads back to the city hall, town hall. This isn't a city. It likes to think of itself as a city hall. Coming in, you see a halfling man with combed jet black hair at the desk sorting through some filing. He kind of looks up as you enter. Well, hello there, and welcome to Herbertsville Town Hall. What department are you looking for?
We're looking for the sheriff.
Okay.
Which one handles burnt heads?
Yes, burnt heads.
Bounties,
department.
specifically.
For burnt heads, you would be looking for Coroner Peterson. For bounties,
we know who they are.
you are looking for Sheriff Peterson.
The sheriff's the one we're looking for.
Yes. Let me check my schedule for them. Okay. They can meet you, but you've got about 15 minutes before Judge Peterson has to review some magistrate cases.
Are they all the same person?
Or a big family.
In a physical sense, yes, but for legal reasons, I need to state that Sheriff Oscar Peterson is, in a very legal sense, not the same entity as Judge Oscar Peterson
Wow.
or Coroner Oscar Peterson.
Wow.
Are they all spelt
Yeah.
slightly differently?
Wow.
No.
No, that would be confusing. What is wrong with this town?
I just...
It's small.
Are we in the Underdark right now? Because this is some drow shit. Well, there's a law, but all the legal people are the same person, so fuck you. We should go and
Now-
talk to Sheriff Peterson.
You should please, yes, you should be careful, or District Attorney Peterson may have some issues.
Is this person okay?
They
Well,
sound very busy.
we're a small town with a large number of hats, so it makes sense for the most influential person to wear all of them.
No, it doesn't.
They've
Are
only got
you
one head.
receptionist Peterson?
No, my name's Jim.
Jim Peterson?
No,
What's your second name?
Longfoot.
Oh, hello, Jim Longfoot. Celestia Stardust. Nice to meet you.
Thank you. Would you like me to put you in the visitor's book?
No.
Okay.
No, I wouldn't actually. Thank you.
Well, Sheriff Peterson is up in the whiskey room.
That sounds like the best room. Let's go there.
You want to go up the stairs, and it's the second door on your left, not the first door. That's not the whiskey room.
What's the first door?
What's that room?
That room is the orange liqueur room.
Ooh,
Of course it is.
sounds nice. Whiskey. Let's go.
Right. Yeah, gestures up the stairs. Enjoy your stay. Help yourself to a complimentary mint. He holds up a bowl of little white
Don't
mints.
think I've ever had a complimentary mint. How
Corzin will
exciting.
take one.
Jeffrey, just one. Just one.
Oh, they're quite good, actually.
Jim Longfoot is already back to.
Bye, Jim.
Goodbye.
Wow.
I'm not sure I could physically speak that slowly, especially as we're going along the corridor to the whiskey room.
I can't. No,
Oh,
I
God,
can't do
stop.
it. No,
Stop.
I hate it. Oh, no.
You head up to the room. The door is slightly ajar, and it's actually, well, not even ajar. It's like open a little bit, and you can see there is a well-appointed, comfortable room with a lot of green upholstery, and lounging on a couch, examining some paperwork, is a yellowish grey-skinned orc, very muscly, bald, but wearing a Stetson, one of those classic cowboy hats, with a droopy black moustache. He has a tumbler of possibly bourbon, possibly bourbon, whiskey, and kind of a draft of it.
Knock.
Yep. Come on in. Puts down. You looking for Sheriff Peterson?
Yes.
Yes.
That's me. He points to the hat.
Ooh, a good, excellent sheriff's hat.
Thanks.
They did say there was a lot of hats in
They
this town.
did. It's a thoroughly impressive hat, actually. Not sure I've ever met a sheriff, so it's good. Anyway, Celestia Stardust, nice to meet you. Hello.
Gets up, sort of slowly makes his way over, takes it out and gives it a squeeze. It's one of those slightly bone crunchy ones.
Firm grip, darling.
I've been told so. Now then, what is it I can help the three of you with?
This is Corzin Horhace. This is Scamp, by the way.
Hello.
Hi.
His hat a little bit.
We heard you had a bounty out on one Mildred Mill Hill. We've sort of taken care of it.
Well, have you now?
Kind of, he's put his glass and his documents down to stand up. So he kind of folds his arms, leans back a little bit, looks at it.
You got proof?
Yes. In here. I guess I
How about-
hold the head up by the burnt hair and
How
hold the gun
about
out.
we go examine that in the coroner's office?
Of course.
Follow me.
Takes you downstairs to the back to a cold room with a slab and light filtering in from a window. Takes off the sheriff's hat, hangs it on a hat stand, puts on a little white sort of hat which he pulls, which is designed to pull back and hold one's hair if one had one. He doesn't, he's bald. And puts on a pair of gloves.
Well, let's take a look at these then.
Could I try and work out how drunk he is?
Roll an insight check.
Okay. I just felt,
Felt relevant, yeah.
it does feel relevant. Okay, insight. That's a 9.
From the smell of his breath, it's not the first one of the day, but from the way he's walking, he's used to it takes a bit more than that to incapacitate him.
It's not the last one of the day either.
No, this man
Yeah.
is a very practiced drinker.
Yeah. Wouldn't want to drive a cart, but
Yeah. But apparently feels sober enough to conduct a thorough medical examination.
Of course.
Well, Corzin can't pretend he hasn't done some of his duties as a surgeon without a little bit of medicinal alcohol.
He's going to examine the. Do you ask you to take out all the heads and examines them? We'll roll a medicine check for him. Mm-hmm.
Well, some of these faces I recognize. See, I've had descriptions of them before.
Yeah, she got a little bit burnt up in the fight. There were a lot of fireballs thrown around, but we do have her gun, if that helps. I hold it out.
Corzin will produce it.
Takes it, examines it carefully.
Seems to be one of a kind. Weird and spinny. Don't really understand how it works, personally. A gesture at Corzin. This one knows a lot more about guns than I do.
You certainly appear to. Maybe I should show you my collection in the gun room.
Oh,
Of course.
I would be intrigued.
Kind of examines it, looks at, studies it, takes out the ammunition, studies the barrel.
It looks very modern.
You certainly could say that. So this one's Mill Hill, then, is it?
Yes.
That's right.
Would you like a
I would
deception
like you
check?
just to make a deception check.
Okay. Oh, honey. Ooh. 12?
Can I add a D4?
Please do.
You can.
Add another 3.
So
15.
Is that I'm not sure there's anything I can do.
Not really.
Cara studies you.
So, tell me about this battle. How did you color?
Well, we were escorting one Michael John Boot to his new place of residence. I'm sure you heard about that happening.
I have, just a couple of days ago.
Yeah, him and his wife were quite worried about bandits, so we went to help. While we were on our way there, they ambushed us. She'd made some really big illusions, basically. There was a fake copse of trees and a fake boulder, and they hid in them, which was quite weird. And we attempted to go sort of outrun them. Didn't really work. So there were some shots fired, there was some fire thrown. She threw quite a lot of fire of her own, but luckily we also have a mage or two here.
And who would those be?
Myself.
I'm a prodigy.
And this one's a prodigy. And this one does a little bit of magic, but I wouldn't call you a mage. You're better with guns, really, but you do quite some impressive magic as well.
Yeah.
Threw a few illusions of my own in there. Scared them a bit.
And which one of you was it made the kill?
It was this one, my point of
Both,
Scamp.
yes.
I throw the fire.
So I'd like, because you are concealing things, and you have to tell an outright lie, I'd like a deception check from Celestia and from Scamp, please.
Can I tides of chaos
Yes,
it,
you
please?
Oh, I'm not sure it'll matter. I might have ruined that.
Okay. What did you get?
22.
1.
1.
This dice is not being kind to me.
It's not. 22. Let me just check. Okay. Sort of nods slowly. Quite the achievement for a young prodigy, though.
They're really quite good.
Seems she... Did you know she was a decorated hero before she deserted?
No. She was a bandit. There were posters.
I think she underestimated us a bit.
I think she did.
Made some stupid mistakes.
I can see how that might happen. No worries. We ain't in the business of underestimating around here.
It's nice.
So, I suppose you'll be wanting the reward.
That'd be nice.
It'd be very agreeable.
Tell you what. Why don't the three of you head to come to the back office, and I'll just down the hall there, second door, and I'll fix us all a drink to celebrate.
I read
You've
his
done a
mind.
mighty great deed.
Okay, you hear him think,
Yeah, this is as fishy as an old tuna sandwich. I best get the truth serum.
you see him swap out the...
The one just down the hallway, was it?
Yep.
You see him swap out the coroner hat and gloves for the sheriff hat and go...
As we're walking down the hallway, I use the message stones to message Scamp and Corzin. He's going to put truth serum in the drinks. Don't go near them.
Corzin acknowledges this non-verbally.
Likewise.
The office is easy enough to open and is a classical, just sort of walnut panelled desk with a chair behind and 4 sort of high-backed chairs in front of it for various people to sit on. There are there is a cabinet, there are drawers in the desk, there is a kind of window with some shutters behind it. Well, it's not even shutters, it's like a Tyrian blind set up, you know, with the ones that you twizzle the little rod and they open and close. So after a minute or so, Sheriff Peterson returns with a little tray with four whiskies on it.
Oh, is that some of this bourbon then?
I think this is actually from the Bourbon family.
Oh, right. We don't really have it in Jova. Different thing.
Try it. He passes you one, and then one to Corzin, and then one to Scamp. Takes one for himself.
I'm a child. I don't.
Kind of looks at you as if this isn't really a problem, but where he's from.
I don't. Okay. There's cultural differences. I don't drink.
Right, of course.
Thank you, though. I've got milk somewhere, maybe, or I'll stick to water.
Strict Puritan, then, are you?
No, just a child.
Yeah, children don't really drink in Jova. Might be different here, though. No judgment.
Oh, no. Almost no one drinks here. The Reverend sees to that.
You're not into that yourself, then?
He kind of raises his glass.
Oh, yeah. Cheers, by the way.
Cheers. Clinks a glass
I'm
and
gonna
drinks it.
Try and make it look like I'm drinking and not actually drinking.
Roll the deception check.
Same.
Oh, I guess this is
Can
sleight
it
of hand.
be a performance
Sleight-
check? Can I do acting? Is that allowed? Or
I'll
not?
let you do a performance check.
Yeah.
It's that or sleight of hand, really.
I think Corzin would have to sleight of hand it.
Okay, make a sleight of hand check.
21. I can do sleight of hand if you're fair, though. I don't mind.
21 as well.
Okay, the pair of you seem to drink.
Oh, it's good. Thank you.
Yeah,
It's
making sure
that,
none of it ends up on his tongue.
It's that distinctive orangey twist to it, isn't it, that makes it?
Zesty, I'd call it.
Definitely.
Good word, zesty.
Yeah, very zesty.
He drinks a little bit more. So, takes a key, starts unlocking the desk.
Should have some of this to ward off scurvy.
Yeah.
It's very
It's got oranges in it, hasn't it? That probably works. That's how it works, isn't it? It's got to be something orange.
The pair of you should both make a perception check
Okay.
Yeah.
because you brought it close to your mouth.
1. My God, this dice needs
Wow.
to go for the evening. That's 2 1s.
That is a 22.
Corzin, as you kind of bring it up again to mime drinking, you sniff it. There is no orange. Is there smell to this bourbon at all?
Oh.
Feck.
We're all idiots.
We suck.
So, tell me again, you said...
I'm gonna read his mind again. I know I'm the worst.
He said, you hear him thinking,
that should have taken effect immediately. They must have resisted it. So, tell me again, it was the young one who made the kill, wasn't it?
I'm gonna take another sip of whiskey, apparently.
yeah.
What's he wearing?
He is wearing I realise I didn't actually describe anything other than Stetson. He is wearing a white jacket, white shirt, white trousers, and some sort of lizard skin boots.
And he's got a weird little moustache, yeah?
Yep.
Terrible moustache, by the way. Oh, I meant to say excellent. I'm not sure how that happened.
Roll a deception check.
Oh, it's quite good, actually. 22.
Okay, kind of grounds from moment.
I think that was a slip of the tongue, or I'm confused.
No worry.
You know, when you mix up words or something. Maybe it was that. I don't know.
Oh,
Weird.
Tell me again. It was, which one of you made the collar?
That one.
I see. And,
What was he thinking?
He's thinking,
Right, okay. Well, something's up. And, you said they did it with, what was it? Magic again?
Is it a fireball?
Fire. I assume it was a fireball that got her. It was that or the firebolt. I do fire.
She got burnt, either way.
Lots of it, yeah.
Tieflings are good at fire sometimes.
Wonder, what did you do with the rest of the bodies? You hear him think.
What did we do with the rest of the body? Oh, I hear
you had
him
you went and had Michael's people bury them. No, you laboriously buried them, didn't you?
We did bury them, yeah.
Yeah, you either buried or burned them. I forget which.
I think we burnt
I
them.
feel like we would have burned them.
Yeah.
You burned them
Easier.
because it was easier. You hear him think. I need to investigate the scene. See
We
what happened.
burnt them. We were worried about them coming back.
Yeah. The ones that were intact enough.
See.
Didn't want to leave a load of bodies on an open plain, you know?
Right, and about where was the ambush again? If you could, I need to go and examine the bodies for proper.
I mean, if they're burnt, we can just tell him, can't we?
Oh, you can just. Yeah, you can just say that. But like, if you want to just hand wave that you tell him the location of the attack.
If he has a map, we can point it out.
Oh yeah,
to
he
him.
takes one out.
Yeah, I mean, he'll just find a burning heap of bones and shit, won't he? Like, yeah. Yeah, I guess we do that. We tell him.
I see. What happened to the rest of her posse?
Not sure, to be honest. They ran off. I think they were freaked out. I sent
Yeah, they're pretty much scattered.
one of the other, I think he was a general, looked important. I sent him a sending. I bluffed a bit. I told him I could see the sweat on his brow and freaked him out, and he ran away. Turns out sending can be quite good in a fight. Who knew?
Psychological warfare.
Yeah. Well, it's too far away to do anything else, so.
Well,
That's not a lie.
it's not a lie, and there is a modifier I'm applying to him, but I'm still periodically rolling. Well then. Opens the drawer, begins counting out money. So where do you plan on heading after this?
Not sure yet. We've got quite a few things on the list, really, haven't we?
Yeah, we haven't really decided.
Yeah. Something we're going to chat about tonight, to be honest.
And
We wanted to take care of this as quickly as possible.
Yeah. Check in with his wife, probably, as our next port of call.
I see. And Mr. Boot is well.
Yeah, last we left him at his manor.
That would be the
old
Von
Vandersar
Spear
place.
Yes, the Vandersar place, of course. Yes, terrible news.
Not really invested, to be honest. We only just got here a couple of days ago.
Can I insight check him and his attitude towards Michael?
Yes, go ahead.
Can I still
Is
hear
he
him, or is that
involved
gone?
in
No,
this?
it's been a minute.
That's a 1. I know nothing.
Difficult to read. This man is, at the very least, a practiced lawyer. Well, that should be the full 800. Let's see, so that's. Afraid I'm gonna have to do some of this as a banker's draft.
Yeah, that's fine.
But that's 380 gold in cash and a 500 gold piece draft. Redeemable at
Yeah.
any of the banks.
Sam, do you want to write that down on the boat? Unless
Yes,
we're
will do.
dividing it differently than that.
Yeah, so
So
880 gold total, of which 500 is a banking note.
Right.
But
880.
you can hand wave cashing that in when you go back to a city.
Yeah.
Yeah, I will possibly ask where the nearest bank to cash that in is, but
That would
yeah.
be fun to watch.
Oh,
because you went there to cash in the note from Tekoku.
Just in case there was a closer one. Yep. Okay,
Thunder's
cool.
Watch is what, 30 miles away?
Yeah, something like
Yeah.
that.
Cool.
Although, being a modern economy, sometimes there are also smaller like pawnbrokers and people who will like cash checks. At
Well, I was thinking, like, you know, if it was the first bank of Herbertsville or something.
Strangely enough, actually, there are very few. Actually, I'd like you to roll a history check on this.
All right. That is a 13.
Strangely enough, though once upon a time there were many more private banks around the world, a large number of them have either failed or been bought up as arms of Goldenkratz and Guildenstern. It is the major bank of today.
I'm sure that's in no way sinister.
Just think of them as them as an accidental monopoly.
Accidental, yes, of course. In no way deliberate.
Still, Sheriff Peterson passes you the cash. Well, I suppose I'll have to send some people out to hunt down the rest of the posse.
Yeah. Where is the direction that is not Michael's?
Michael's is to the southeast, I will say.
Where can I say that they'd run off to that would not look like it was there? Can I just say southwest?
Yeah, if you want.
Yeah, I think they went southwest. What I remember. But they all split up a bit. It might not be one group. I mean, to be fair, they might have come back together now. I don't know what they're doing. But...
Well, I'll put some people on it regardless. Well then, you should all have yourselves a very good day.
I'm sure we will. Thank you very much.
You too. Lovely to meet you.
He thinks for a moment.
What?
Oh, just considering you've done a fine job. Next time, if you're ever back in the area, do make sure to drop in there. You never know when there's other outlaws needing taken care of, because, well, might take us some time, but we always get criminals eventually.
Well, it doesn't everywhere.
Y'all have a nice day now.
I'm going to read his thoughts again. This character is paranoid these days, Jesus.
Just hear him think. Gonna have to ask a favor from the elder. See if they can follow the trick coin.
Trick coin, what's that?
All he thinks is trick coin. He doesn't think of any more description than that because he doesn't need to.
Yeah, I keep listening until I'm out of range.
Yeah,
and it
just
goes. So I keep listening for the next minute, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, range is only
It's
30
okay.
feet, so once you kind of leave the house, it goes. But you walk slowly and you hear a little.
I
you loiter a little
fix my shoes halfway down the corridor or whatever.
yeah.
I don't know if I have laces. I don't know if we're in that.
I think Morgan to follow these ones. And we better send some people out. Broad.
Seeing actually what's happening here, could I stall by saying, do you need to keep the pepper box as evidence?
His train of thought shifts to.
They might want that one back. I'm afraid I will.
No, quite understand.
Quite understand.
Didn't think there was any harm in asking, though.
Not a problem. And you hear him think, yeah, the dwarves are going to want that one back.
Oh, shit.
Well, y'all have a nice day now.
You too.
Definitely keep an eye on. And your spell finishes.
I shall take that off my inventory.
Okay, I am. As soon as we're like a decent distance away. Okay, he's going to send somebody called Morgan to follow us. And also, he's in with the dwarves.
Which dwarves?
I just said the dwarves. If they're to do with
The
Gold Star
ones
shipping,
that-
I assume they're the dwarves that we're worried about.
Yeah. Well, we knew that someone here was, didn't we? Because they've got the bounty sorted here.
Yeah, he's also going to send some people out to Michael's, which I don't really know how we deal with.
Well, Michael got attacked on the road, so he's hired some mercenary.
That's true.
We'll just have to make
We should
sure.
send to him, like, right now that needs to
for
happen, and
one
maybe
month.
tell Mill Hill to keep out of sight.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm going to send to Mill Hill, actually. It's probably more
Yep.
useful, isn't it?
yeah, do so.
I gather the Rainbow
Yep.
Spirit into a ball. Possibly convince Sheriff you're dead, but sending people to investigate might want to disguise or be scarce and disguise group. Random mercenaries. Good luck. Bye.
Right. Thank you for the tip off. We'll work something out. I'll tell Michael. Once we're nearly there anyway. And we'll see about getting some clothes. Maybe do some cheap hair dyes. Keep safe.
Well, that's her tipped off.
Alright.
And we've just got to keep an eye out for this Morgan, I suppose.
Yeah. Alright. Well. For now then, on to the next thing.
Which is?
Well,
Well, we need to get the reward on Michael taken out. That's really important.
yes, I was going to say we should work out where the Vandasar holdings are based now, and see
Also,
what
we
the
might
quickest
wanna-
route there is.
I don't know, poke around about Gold Star trading.
Yeah. See if there's any rumors or such.
That might also arouse suspicion, though.
True.
What do you two think?
Well, cliche though this is, I suppose we could go and ask the barkeep of the tavern we stayed in, or met in the other day. Saloon, yeah,
They're not
sorry.
taverns here, they're saloons.
Yeah, we're.
I think we want to be careful in this town if someone's following us, especially.
Definitely.
Mm.
I'm
This
going to have
might
a
not
look
be the
round and
place to
see if
ask.
anyone's following us yet.
Okay. Make a perception check.
No, 4.
You do not see. I mean, you see people. There are people wandering around, about their day-to-day business.
Talk to Scamp and Corzin through the little message stones. Might be best if we have anything important to say to talk through these, and we might actually want to have a really normal evening.
Well,
Yeah.
Because
I'm
we're
here for
being
that.
followed. Maybe we just go to the pub and have a nice time and not do anything weird.
All right. Well, let's see if we can get a room then.
Okay. You.
I mean, again, I say this over headsets. We could legitimately meet up with Molly. We said we were going to.
True.
Hang on, is she here? She's not, is she? It's Herbertsville.
No.
I'm getting my towns
So-
mixed
so
up. Sorry.
Molly will be.
Yeah.
Molly will be in Thunder's Watch, and if you're planning to go back there, then that is certainly a place you can do it.
I don't know if we need to be in Thunder's Watch or not, do we?
Yeah, no, not immediately.
No, maybe we stay here and go to the tavern.
Yeah.
Okay.
and look normal.
Has he got any magical way of listening, or did he mention anything about how he was following us?
No, he just said Morgan. Again, all of this over messages.
Yeah.
Nothing about how.
I mean, there wasn't anything else that I'm missing out, was there? Oh, this is out of character. I don't think so. I think it just said Morgan, didn't it?
So they send Morgan to follow you.
Oh, and he said, what was the coin? What was that
He
phrase?
said a trick coin.
They said something about the trick coin. It sounded like a turn of phrase.
Like a coin that's magic to listen to you? Or to be a thing you can follow?
I don't
Or-
know.
Have I heard any turns of phrase, halfling or otherwise, that mention trick coins?
History check, high DC.
Okay.
Was there any point when he was near enough to us to slip something onto us?
I mean, there were a
He
couple
gave
of
us a
points,
bag of money.
I doubt it. That's a 4.
Oh. We have a lot of coins. Again, I'm saying this over
Yeah.
message.
Yeah, I'm assuming you're having this
Yeah.
whole conversation.
Everything's over message. We have a lot
Let's
of
go
coins.
somewhere I can detect magic.
Let's do that.
Yeah, okay.
And just don't say anything important out loud.
You,
Alright.
you're going to go ahead and rent a room?
I guess we say some shit like, oh, let's go get drinks, get a room, oh, how much is
Yeah.
it? Like, bollocks
You-
like that.
Okay, for a room and comfortable drinks and food for you all for the night, you end up paying 8 silver pieces. You get the room is fairly Spartan at the Broken Wheel. It's quite comfortable, although you can hear the muffled sound of the pianist from below. But
I'll pay for the room and the drinks.
yeah, you are able to focus enough to cast Detect Magic. Filtering through your coin pouch, you do indeed. I would actually like to. Filtering through your coin pouch, would you notice anything magical? Scamp, give me an investigation check, please.
Ugh.
I guess we pour all the coins out
Mhm.
and like
Yeah.
Yep.
spread them out.
Oh,
If
and
it's
all that.
magic, it'll glow.
Mm.
But if it's
No, I don't
something
think it
else,
will.
not
Not this.
necessarily. 15.
Can I give
How
this-
long are you willing to spend looking? You don't see anything immediately magical.
All night. I have nothing else to do all evening.
Okay, you laboriously count through these because of your time spent with your former sort of master slash, person who gave you lodging in return for doing jobs for them in their forge. You know a little bit of Dwarven culture, you know a little bit about metals. So it does take you the hour to find the one coin that is not made of gold, but is made of iron pyrite, fool's gold.
Ooh.
It's not magical, though.
Yeah. I guess how we work this. I guess I see Scamp. We probably see Scamp like holding a coin up. Again, I imagine we're still not saying anything
Yeah.
out loud.
Yeah.
I say out loud. I suppose I could go and buy us some drinks and look at the coin.
Could do.
In message, it would be a way to get rid of the thing without it looking too suspicious.
Yeah, but I'm worried there's something on it that's more. I don't know.
What do
Let's
you mean?
try
Message, is it just forged or?
It does seem to be a forgery of a common Osirian crown. Actually,
Right.
here the Assyrian money isn't actually crowns. The rest of Jova uses crowns. Assyria uses pounds.
I just want to know how it works.
I wonder if it's a tracker or something. Might not be that
Not
you can
mag-
hear us, but
It's not magic.
It could
Hang
be a
on.
specific.
again, this is still all over message.
Yeah.
Corzin,
Yeah.
how long does your locate spell? What's the range on that?
I was just thinking that usually it's up to 1,000 feet.
Oh, that's quite
But-
far.
it usually works for up to 10 minutes. So
But
if they
there's a
knew that this
specific
was
coin.
a thing, yeah, if they knew this was a specific object that was on our possession, absolutely, like, you know.
Okay.
Still thinking I could go and spend it at the bar.
I think if anyone's going to recognise a forgery, it's going to be a barman.
I'll make it look real.
But that,
Also, if it
That's
is called out as being a
stealing.
forgery, yeah.
I mean,
Technically, it's swindling.
I will slip him another gold at some point.
we could just dump it.
Could just dump it. I feel like that's more suspicious, though. I don't know. Accidentally spending it feels way less.
All right.
Because
Does this
dumping
town
it feels
have a
like we've
wishing well?
noticed.
This town does not have a wishing well, and being close to the river, it
Long
does not have
shot.
a well either. It does have a river.
Right. I've got it. Are there any gambling or card games going on downstairs?
There is indeed a game of three-legged Johnny.
How do you play
Right.
three-legged Johnny, Jason?
Well, the trick is to get 3 legs or aces.
Ah, okay.
However, if you manage to get 3 legs and a jack, then you can call three-legged Johnny and win the game.
Right.
No matter what, the first person to lay down 3 aces and a jack automatically wins, and they actually take the whole pot, which builds up over time. Most of the time, though, you don't get three-legged Johnny. Like, ideally, you're just trying to get 3s. Like, any group of 3 will do. But like, 3 aces is 3 legs, and then 3 aces and a jack. Because you've only got 4 cards to work with in your hand. That's three-legged Johnny. I went to a lot of effort to justify this bullshit this time, didn't I?
You did. Honestly,
It was brilliant.
It
I could
sounds
play this.
almost like you came up with it beforehand.
Yes.
Almost.
Right.
It was great. I'd play it, honestly.
Oh yeah, I'll play the game, definitely.
I mean, if you all want to go down and join in a game of three-legged Johnny, you can.
I think we should
And
play
that
some
was the rest of the episode.
Yeah, just hours of three-legged Johnny.
I'm going to abstract this.
So, who suggests this? Does this happen? Are we doing this?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
It's a way of getting rid of it that isn't, just dumping it somewhere.
Yeah.
Okay, you sit down and play some three-legged Johnny. Everyone who wants to take part, the stakes are low for you, but, still like in the occasion, it's not uncommon to put a couple of gold pounds down. So this game you can't actually bluff at. It's not a bluffing game, but you can count cards. So everyone roll an intelligence check.
Can I make the coin look like a real coin so that nobody has a go?
For how long? And using what?
I was thinking minor illusion. Oh, it's like a minute.
You make it look like a real coin for a minute.
Or just like hide it within a pile, honestly.
I'll need a sleight of hand check from you.
Yeah.
16 on the intelligence.
Sleight of hand was that?
Yeah.
Natural 20. I don't make it look like a real coin. I hide it in a pile
Yeah.
strategically.
Cool. What was the intelligence checks again?
16.
4, 16.
Oh, I need an
Yeah,
intelligence
you're
check.
actually playing the game.
Oh, that's also good. Holy shit, making up for the ones. That's... Oh my god, what's my intelligence? 24, Jesus, sorry.
Just going to roll for these 3 other players. Okay. Scamp, you lose 6 gold.
Woo!
Corzin, you make it out with slightly above where you started with 1 gold. Celestia, you kind of clean out the table and make 14 gold pieces, but you do manage to pawn. You do with expert skill manage to pawn off the trick coin to
Excellent.
someone else. A dusky-skinned, black-haired woman who's kind of been playing for a while and seems quite annoyed at how much money you've taken from her. Well, shit.
It was win some, you lose some.
Buy a drink if you want.
Sure, I'll take that.
I'll buy a drink. What do you want?
How about some bourbon? I hear the sheriff took all the bourbon.
What is the difference?
It's which family makes it. One of them's a little bit smokier than the other.
Ah. Oh, fair enough. Which one's smokier?
That would be the bourbon.
Right. Bourbon it is. I buy a bourbon.
He spent like 2 coppers.
Anyone else want one?
She
I'll buy
raises it
everyone
happily and
drinks.
drinks them.
Oh, why not? Yeah.
I don't drink. I'm a child.
When I say do you want a drink, do you want milk or anything while I'm going?
This
Yes,
is abstract.
sarsaparilla.
just reinforcing the thing from before.
Oh, clever.
You
I
dri-
messaged.
Okay, you drink it. This is accounted for in the money you were spending on drinks anyway. So you kind of sit. So what is your plan for the rest of the night? You kind of just continue to pretend to have a nice time.
Yeah.
Retire to bed.
Probably a drink.
Keep
a
an
bit
eye
too
out
much.
for anyone visibly following us.
Okay. So you. I will say, give me a. I suppose this is an insight check.
Ooh, can I do it
Anyone?
too?
Okay.
Yeah, sure.
Ooh,
19.
19.
Mine is not that good. 14.
Okay. Yep. All 3 of you notice in the corner of the room, kind of sitting and drinking by themselves, is a half-orc. Kind of looks like almost like a not like a game hunter. Actually, yeah, like a game hunter, but like someone who hunts rabbits and so on. I hesitate to call them a poacher because you don't know for sure whether they're breaking any laws in the hunting, but yeah, they are blonde, blue-eyed, has that kind of like slightly greyish, kind of like a slightly greyish pink skin. So because of their mixed ancestry, and has quite a sort of fixed sort of stare. When you glance over, he takes a sip and pretends to pay attention to the pianist instead.
You notice too? Message.
Yep.
Shall I shout Morgan and see what happens?
Oh, please do. That's so funny.
I mean, it would be a terrible idea because
so
the name was never said out
counterproductive.
loud.
Best not, really.
It would be really funny though, wouldn't it? Just
Not unless you
shout
can
and-
use your thaumaturgy to throw your voice a little.
I mean, I totally can, but even so, it feels like a bad risk.
So bad. So funny, though. I can't think of anything else I want to do more than that.
So what are you gonna do? You're gonna just like throw your voice to like just behind his ear?
Well, that would make we can't. It's got to. If we do it, it has to sound like someone's calling from across the room. Otherwise, I mean, if we do a noise too close, you'd look around regardless of whether it was your name.
All right.
I'm gonna. Fuck it. Minor illusion, a sort of Sundran voice. Morgan! Like from outside the bar.
Outside the bar. Okay.
Like just as though they're going past in the street.
A couple of people look round,
More than
including the
one
half
person
orc.
called Morgan.
Yeah. The half orc looks around. There is a halfling woman with a green dress, who kind of glances over at hearing the sound as well. She's at the bar.
For fuck's sake, there's more than one person called Morgan.
It also might be any of these people.
Really nice.
Just because one looks suspicious doesn't mean we got it right.
Well,
That's true.
he was one of the ones that looked round, so if we see him anywhere again,
True. Just keep an eye out from now on.
Yeah. Remember his face. Keep an eye out.
Remember
from,
everyone's face.
somewhere else.
I mean... No, never mind. I was thinking maybe we could go for a... I'm going to say the character. We could go for a walk and see if he follows.
I do like a walk.
Can't hurt.
Bit of fresh air.
Yeah.
Down to the watering hole, as it were.
Yeah.
I mean, technically, this is the watering hole, but you know what I mean.
I say out loud. Yeah, I think I'm a bit pissed. I could do with walking it off. Would you mind?
Ugh. That sounds very like you.
Oh,
Let's go for a
shut up.
walk.
Let's go for a walk.
Okay.
I'm not that drunk. I'm a bit drunk, but I know I'm being watched, so I've not got really hammered.
Fair enough. You head out towards. Well, the watering hole is literally the river.
Yeah.
So everyone, roll me a perception check.
Okay.
Natural 20. Dice bounce.
23.
11. Yeah, you know there are some numbers between the 1s and the 20s.
No,
that
my
you
dice
can
are
roll.
they're having drama today. It's a strange time. The dice are confused.
You can substitute it for like 2 pence piece.
Okay. You head out towards the river.
Basically, heads or tails.
You look around. At one point, you do actually see the halfling woman step out, go around to the outhouse to use it. There's some birds. There's Marjorie, of course. There are a couple of... Do you get pigeons here? Yep, there's some pigeons.
Yeah.
You see a couple of starlings. There's a hawk that you kind of see flying overhead at one point. The starlings flutter away nervously. At one point, you see someone stumble out who you don't recognise, goes to a different part of the town. You don't see anyone kind of coming out and following you, ostensibly.
This is awkward, isn't it? It's a bit of a message.
Yeah. It's a nice walk, though.
At 20, I see nothing. That's super weird.
You don't know what they rolled or if
Oh,
they're
totally.
even there.
Yeah, lovely walk. Still a bit drunk though. I think maybe we should walk for a bit longer. You know.
Question though,
can't
why do they
see
put
straight.
those half-moon things on the outhouses here?
I don't know. There's moon code for bum, which is code for pooing. Is that a thing?
That sounds likely.
Yeah.
I hadn't thought of that, but yeah,
I think
maybe.
that's the only possible leap a person could make.
That'll be it. It's bum code.
Bum code!
I feel like, correct me if I'm wrong, gang, but I feel like we walk in circles for the next 10 minutes and talk,
Yep.
pretend drunken shit about pooing.
Yeah.
You're
See if
pretending.
anyone
I'm having a very
joins
interesting
us.
conversation.
You walk for a bit, getting some distance, have a chat about pooing.
A 10-minute chat.
You do not
about
notice
poo.
anything you did not notice before.
I don't message, there's still no one here, is there?
I'm tired.
We could just go to bed.
We could. I feel bad though. Like we're missing something.
We
or-
must be. I'm going to detect thoughts again. It's my favourite spell today. I
Okay.
just want to know if I hear anyone other than us.
Within the 30-foot range around you, you do not feel the presence of any other minds.
Again, like, I keep it up for another minute of
nothing.
walking.
No, I mean, like, literally, there is nothing that would register as a conscious mind within 30 feet of you. Like, there is one point where you see... There is one point where you see a rodent just kind of scurry past, but it doesn't even register. It's too simple. Goes a little bit further away.
Anyone else suspicious of the rodent? I see a message.
Oh yeah.
As you glare
Cats.
fixedly, wondering whether this rodent is a spy, the hawk just, like, swoops down and carries it away.
Well,
Wow.
that's that done.
Now I'm worried about the hawk.
Me too! We were right about the curry, just saying. Never gonna be the same after the curry and the cat.
Oh,
Get anything
I wish you were
related
wrong,
message.
but
Yeah. Yeah, for like, there's occasionally you're having like long conversations about pooping, interspersed with silences, with long silences, as you glare meaningfully at each other, touching your foreheads.
Maybe we should put a half moon on the seat of ease
Yes.
so that people don't mistake it for the plank.
it's completely different shape. Feel free. I'm
Well,
not
when
going
I
to stop
first
you.
came on the ship, I thought the hole was for people to fall through. Just saying. I didn't think it was for shitting, because that's insane.
Well, amusing though that would be, it's not really practical.
Well, like, shitting on a plank that's hanging off a ship isn't fucking practical, just saying.
It's exceedingly practical. Otherwise, you've got to use a bucket.
Yes, which
What's
isn't
wrong with
hanging
a
off the
bucket?
side of a rocking ship.
Yeah. But
Do you
what if
lose
you
people
spill
that
the
way?
bucket?
Has somebody ever come for a shit and not come back? Because I'm just saying, it's got to happen at some point. This is the conversation that goes on.
Generally, you got to pick your moment, but I do take your point.
You
You
just
don't
can't
do it in
poo
high
if there's a
storms.
storm. You just can't shit if there's a storm. Just hold it in. Nope, till the storm's done. No shitting for you.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
That doesn't feel practical. Sometimes rough seas go on for days. Are you all just holding it in? I hope someone's eavesdropping.
Some people just take their lives in their own hands.
Or their own arseholes. Yeah.
Oh, I mean, you say
I've
that
been
like,
using
there-
fly.
I've been on ships where there's had to have been like special halfling additions to the seat of ease to prevent us from falling through.
You just cast fly.
If you happen to be a person who can
cast-
do that, yes.
Do you cast fly every time you poo? I need to know for
Yes.
reasons. Wow. Depending on your guts, that could get really, really hard to keep up.
That's alright. I've also got breathe water, so I tend to go swimming.
Or just poo in the sea.
Yep.
Well, that's always where it ends up most of the time.
Well, I'm glad that I know that about you. Hang on.
And I'm glad I've shared it with you
Yeah.
and no one else.
Hang on. So fly lasts for 10 minutes. How long does water
Yeah.
breathing last for ages?
24 hours. It's up
Okay.
all the time. It's up now.
We're doing one
I just do it for fun now. How long do you take to poo?
It varies, you know. Sometimes if it's the wrong moment, I don't know.
When it was the yak, about 3 days it would seem.
I mean,
Well, not the yak, elk.
oh, ages. I mean, honestly, the first time I shat on that fucking plank, ages. My arsehole got shy. I was so terrified. I think we're supposed to be actually doing something, but this conversation in character about shitting is giving me so much joy. I can't stop. I'm
The
sorry.
character's
Same.
forgotten what they're supposed to be doing. None of us. We got distracted by a distraction conversation.
We're
and
having
now
too
this
much
is all
fun.
we're interested in.
Yeah, we're just talking about poo. We've forgotten to do anything else.
Eventually, your poop conversation winds you.
I think this is plausibly 10 minutes of conversation.
This
though,
is
just
plausibly 10
saying.
minutes of conversation. Long enough for a fly spell to last for you to go take a shit.
This is
Well, I
suddenly
suppose-
gone very Samuel Beckett.
I mean, I suppose on land, shitting's going to be a lot cheaper for you, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yes, I suppose.
You did.
We should turn in.
We should
Now
go
we've
to
had
bed.
this very important conversation.
You eventually
I'll have a shit before bed, who knows?
went your way back. Yeah, you can visit the outhouse if you wish, complete with the half moon door, the moon window. As you come in, there's like the pianist is kind of doing a bit of casual light music, with a strangely jazzy theme to it, perhaps out of time period. The woman who you took all the gold from kind of hopefully holds up some cards. Want another go?
Very tired, darling.
Okay.
Have a lovely day.
And you retire to the room. You set up, presumably, your usual alarms, and all head to...
Just gonna check no one's watching or listening from anywhere.
Do a perception check.
Paranoidly. Paranoid.
Can I help?
Mm-hmm.
Like, Scamp's a bit... Are you a bit better than me at perception? I think you are.
I doubt it.
Oh, I've got +5.
I've got 0.
Shall I do it with help?
Yeah.
Or actually, it's... Corzin's the best.
Yeah, I was going to say, if there's any like wall-mounted pictures, just look behind them and that sort of thing.
It's actually quite a... No, this is a reasonable place. There's one picture of some flowers, painting of some flowers. You check behind it, it's just wall.
Alright, so just perception.
Yeah, I guess with advantage if we're helping, if that's allowed.
Is it?
Yes, it is.
Right. It's an 18.
Okay. You could look around. Nothing really comes to you. Quick question. This is a weird question, but did any of you go to use the toilet?
I'm going to say
Well,
yes.
now I feel like I have to.
I
because
feel
I'm
like-
curious.
I mean,
After that conversation.
Yeah.
I feel
long
like the
have we been
conversation
here?
about shitting probably makes you want to shit.
Yeah.
So, like,
It's like it's been a while. Like, yeah, you take some time. Like as much time as you want till the evening.
Take an
The
unspecified
important
amount of
question
time.
is, who goes first?
I'm going to say me.
Okay, it's kind of unpleasant. The halfling lady left a surprising amount in there. I mean, it's a cesspit, so it's pretty all low down, but it's quite smelly. You do your business. Scamp, when you sit down, roll a d100.
Oh, wow.
Oh, God.
Just blow up the outhouse.
That is
This would be an incredible
I mean, that'd be
moment for a fireball,
hilarious.
just saying.
Yeah.
What did you get?
45.
45. There is a brief
Excellent.
moment before the pair of you are back inside up in the room when you hear a sound faintly from outside.
Ow!
Oh, what was that noise?
Yeah,
there a
what's
window?
that?
You kind of open the window. You see, continuing to float upwards and upwards, is the outhouse with a slightly struggling pink child inside. Hastily pulled their shorts up, and as the outhouse roof is just gliding up with them into the air.
Okay.
A comical
This
moment
was-
of Celestia checking the glass of whiskey that she has.
This is not a fly spell. It's not right.
Yep, Scamp
weird.
is just going straight up.
Okay, Corzin is going to throw them a piece of rope, like,
I think I just watch and light up a pipe of tobacco. That's the impulse that I'm getting. I don't think I help. I think I just watch.
Give me a dexterity check, Corzin. Or maybe this is an athletics check, actually. I'm going to say this is an athletics check.
athletics. Okay, cool.
Because you are throwing it.
Yeah, natural one, but lucky. Oh, right, that's a 10.
You throw it up, it smacks Scamp in the face through the half-moon
Ow.
door, but then manages to tangle in their horn. So it does manage to lasso them, and consequently you are able to stop them flying up any further and quickly pull them back down until about 3 feet above the ground, or at least the bottom of the outhouse is about 3 feet above the ground. The effect ends.
Ow!
And Scamp lands right back on the sort of smooth wooden toilet seat over the cesspit.
Sorry, Scamp, I wasn't sure how long that was going to last.
No, me neither.
One of your more exciting shits, I'd imagine.
You'd be surprised. Good night.
Good night.
Well, on that note, he just coils the rope back up.
You all head to bed.
What even?
Character that canonically casts fly and shits in the sea. You cast fly every time you shit. Amazing.
And you know what? No, I can't top that. We're ending the episode. No, we're ending the first half here though, and we will pick up with you waking up the following morning after these, no doubt important, messages. Oi, you there. Some old geezer from the last episode gave me half a guinea and told me to come here, buy the second largest goose you have, and talk to you about Flintlocks and Fireballs. Apparently, you should like, rate, share and subscribe to it, and visit the Patreon. I don't know what that means, but with this other half guinea, I'd like that other goose, please. Thank you. And welcome back. It is the 10th of full ripeness. It's a not chilly, slightly cool for the weather, quite windy sort of day. There's a few clouds in the sky, it's not terribly sunny, but it's not actively raining either. And as you wake up, you head downstairs and are treated to the breakfast that you paid for, which is eggs and a less sweet sort of grits. It's basically like a cornmeal type porridge with
That is indescribable in taste.
that is indescribable.
Oddly
in taste.
similar colour if the eggs are scrambled.
Yeah, and a broadly similar colour to the scrambled eggs.
We have a plate of pale yellow before us.
Yes, there is a single flitch of bacon and some bacon grease, which is in a little pot on the side, so you can dip it into the hot grits.
Actually
to give
sounds
it
really good.
to give it a bit more flavour, because this is not sweetened. There is a bit of salt in it though. You're not the only one down here. There are a few other people getting their breakfasts. There is the same half-orc from last night. He does look up as you come through. There is also the woman who was playing cards with you, who is having the same breakfast. Looks up as you come in and kind of tips her fingers up at you. She actually she kind of had a hood up the previous night, but it's down this morning because she's got the slightly pointed ears of a half elf. And he gives you, yeah, it's the high rollers from last night. Come and have a sip.
Okay, why not? What was your name again? I'd had a few too many last night. What was your name again? I'd had a few too many yesterday.
Name's Miriam.
Celestia Stardust, nice to meet you.
She offers a hand
Yeah.
and shakes it.
So, do you live around here?
On occasion, I kind of do a bit of a tour of all sorts of places.
Ah, what for? For work? What do you do?
Oh, I'm bounty hunter.
Oh, really?
I actually came here because I heard about those bandits, the Cavaliers. It seems someone took care of that last night.
Oh, bugger.
Probably head on looking for more work. What brings you such an eclectic mix of folks here?
Oh, we actually came here to, basically be sort of bodyguards for a friend across the countryside.
Yeah.
But we've done that now, so
That's mighty
what
kind
we're
of you.
doing. Probably gonna head back to Thunder's Watch, maybe?
Imagine bounty hunting's interesting work.
Scratch your head.
Yeah, mostly it's weeks of really dull traveling, trying to find talking to a bunch of people, trying to get some hints of where the quarry is, and then there's, well, if you're unlucky, there's kind of a short, violent, and really dangerous and exciting part. And if you're not, and if you're a bit luckier than that, then you catch them unawares. Depending on your bounty, well, I'm not gonna lie.
She gestures towards her back. She's not got any weapon on her at the moment, but you can see that she has a currently unfilled sort of back holster for a long arm, probably a musket or a carbine.
Yeah, if you're a good shot, and sometimes get them in the leg, and then go and tie them up.
Oh, so it's not always just murdering people then?
Sometimes more often than not, they want them alive.
Huh.
You gotta stand trial, you know?
Yeah, there's a subtle difference I've heard between bounty hunter and just full-blown assassin.
Yeah, that would be the difference, wouldn't it?
Well, I work within the law. Broadly speaking. I get the job done, is what I'm saying, and...
I'm sure you do.
Let's just say, what's a little trespassing between friends to doing the right work of the law?
Yeah, that's fair.
Sometimes you just gotta cross some boundaries. I mean, like literal boundaries between people's fields.
Oh, seems fair. It feels, don't they?
I suppose there's relatively few people out here to even notice.
These bits, but depends which bits of the country you're working in, really. You can get, if you head more towards the coast, gets pretty thick, pretty tight around what we like to call the, well, some folks call them the immigrant cities, on account you get people from all over the world that go to them, places like Thunder's Watch, Newmark, that sort of thing.
Well, I'd heard that Sunder is not short of a great many things, but one of the things that he's not short of is, well, geography.
Oh, yeah.
Very big.
I heard that this... Well, I can't rightly imagine how big this place is. I just know that, the horizon, it never stops. You get there and there's just more.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, it's like that, isn't it?
It's a bit different if you go up north towards, the Cotton Belt. People get mighty persnickety about you crossing over their boundaries, and then if you head south towards the faithful, they can get a bit preachy, depending on which one you end up in.
Oh dear.
Oh, no doubt.
Right. You've been traveling much in the colonies?
We've actually not seen that many places, only here in Thunder's Watch so far.
Yeah, only relatively speaking, recently arrived.
Here for trade. For the ship.
Yeah.
I see. And you came down here for you said bounty with a friend, right? Not bounty.
bodyguarding.
Bodyguarding. Both
yeah.
starts with B's.
Yeah, no, while we weren't that far away here, I wanted an escort, so we decided to help out.
It's quite fun. Bees. Do wish they had some honey for this. I like honey with bacon. What about you?
Honey with bacon. Is bacon
I
usually
hadn't tried
sweet?
it like that.
Well, if you go to the bit south towards, I guess you call them also kind of the cotton band. I suppose it's the other side now, where them's that used to belong to the Sulians. They have these. They import up this tree. You get right from. You get this syrup. You get right from trees. From
I've
a
heard
little
of
bit
that.
more south from there.
Trees can make syrup.
Yep.
It's,
Wow.
as I understand it, it's sort of like sap, but they have to prepare it in a special way.
As you can't just go and like lick trees.
Well,
Are you sure?
Have a look.
I'm willing to try.
It's not like sugarcane where you can just eat it raw, no.
On your
but
head beard if you start licking trees.
No, they, as I understand it, they import it en masse from the, what's the name for them? The Tatno more to the south.
The what?
The Tatno, they're one of those, one of the Chin kingdoms.
Oh.
Oh, right, okay.
Well, I say kingdoms, I don't know if they have a king or not. I guess so.
Dunno. Depends how they work, I suppose.
I suppose,
We don't have a king where I'm from either.
Oh, of course, yeah. You'll be from down below, won't you?
Yeah, we've got an empress, but not a king.
A monarch of some kind, I suppose.
Yeah, I suppose it's the same thing, isn't it?
Empress is just a king with a big hat, though. Bigger hat, though.
I'd love to see her reaction if you said that to her.
Well, I ain't
So
spoken
would
to a lot
I.
of kings. Or empresses.
Spoken to more than I'd like.
Yeah. Sounds like quite the story, though.
Yeah, it's long.
And not one you're in the mood to tell. I understand. Heck, I've had a few jobs in my time I wouldn't talk too freely about until I'd had quite a few bourbons.
That's fair.
Well, it's all about cleared out here, for the most part. You said you were heading toward Thunder's Watch?
Ultimately, I suppose.
Are we? Is that what we're doing?
Well, ultimately, yeah, it's where the ship's docked.
I think you mentioned that to her.
Well, I might, you never know, I might bump into you there. Probably head that way myself, check in with the governor's office and see if anyone's posted any bounties for out here in the smaller towns.
Heard they had a bit of a to-do about tea recently.
Big old shenanigan about tea, yeah.
Yeah, some,
A slight fracas, if you will.
Funny you should mention that. Hey, she looks up at the barkeep, the chap with the ear trumpet from before.
Oh, I forgot about him.
Yeah.
He's great.
Johan says, "Hey, Johan, what? Johan, what is it? You got that newspaper came in earlier." Tosses over a slightly crumpled newspaper. It's dated 3 days ago. It is actually the newspaper that you bought fresh in Thunder's Watch. So so the raid on the docks hasn't actually made it this far out in terms of newspaper yet. It will probably come there tomorrow.
Wow.
But she does point to it and say, "Yeah, I saw there was a whole bit about how they're railing up against those that tea monopoly." So you're saying that something's come of that, has it?
Yeah, they
Alright.
had a big old kerfuffle and threw a bunch in the water.
Yeah. Bit of a bastard, actually. We had like 5 tons of samovars to sell and they threw all the tea in the water.
Well, that's quite the...
Not that that's the important thing about this situation, just a bit of bad luck, really.
Yeah, I'm a coffee woman myself, but I get you.
I'm a coffee woman too. Don't mind the occasional tea, but coffee's better.
Ugh.
Oh.
You a tea drinker there, young'un?
I just don't like coffee.
Well, that's fair.
This one's more a fan of the milk, aren't you, Scamp?
Yeah.
She takes a sip of her own coffee.
So that the DM can.
Yeah, that's what's happening.
My coffee has whiskey in it.
Yes.
Well, you said you were new to town. I'm gonna have to make my own way on in a bit, but yeah, I like the look of you. So, if you got any questions about Sunder, happy to help some strangers out.
Bit random, actually. But, I'm looking for a friend, and I know they've got something to do with Gold Star trading, but I don't really know what that is. I don't have a lot more information than that. I suppose you know anything, do you?
gold star. Only gold stars I know, the ones sheriffs get.
Fair enough.
Sort of trading company.
I think so.
Probably be better off checking at the docks up in the big city.
Oh, it is gold star
Yeah.
shipping, so maybe that's where I need to be.
There you go then. Maybe they're one of them corporations.
So are you from around this part of Sunder originally, or have you travelled around quite a lot?
Oh me, oh my, no. I grew up, I grew up all over the place. Got, my mammy and my pappy, well, they was hunters and trackers, and after they adopted me, I I walked with them, and then when I went on my own way, I took up this job and sort of taken me all over the place. I spent a bit of my life trapping furs to the far south. Then there was a bit of time I did a bit of work on a contract basis during the last war. She just kind
What
of
was that
sucks
doing?
at it,
Finding deserters, or
More or less. Honestly, a lot of it was scouting work. Tend to work alone. Just me and Missy. But, no. We, that was some pretty, bit rich for my blood. All said and done, but, I'd say we handled ourselves pretty well.
That's fair. I don't know how much you'd be in with this in your profession. It sounds like you move around a lot, though. What do you know about the war here? What's your take on it? We're a bit new, and there's a lot going on. And
Well, the war was pretty straightforward. The orcs kind of felt that they had a claim on St. Gregorsville southward. Well, more like southwestward, and the Sulians felt they didn't. And that kind of raged on for a bit. I mean, officially it was about trade and that, but really it was just about the land.
historically that's usually what it's about between Sul and Australia.
It feels like there's another one coming. What's your take on that?
Truth be told, I've been spending a lot of time out in the sticks, you understand. I don't really keep an ear to politics. You say there's another war coming, you probably know better than me, and when it does, well, depending on how I'm doing for cash, I'll hide or I'll seek some work. Mostly what I'll do is try and skip the press, you know?
Yeah.
In the press gang sense, rather than the newspaper sense.
Yeah, that kind of not.
Both are best avoided if you can.
Yeah.
oh gods, yes.
But, mind you, what's the deal with this war, then? You know more than me, you tell me.
I don't know a lot.
Honestly, we just arrived. It's difficult really to get a sense of even what the major factions of it are. It's
Okay.
just seems there's a lot of unrest here.
Well, who do you think it's gonna be with, then? Like, is Sul maybe is it Sul they're gonna kick back again, or is Orsuria likely to have a whole kerfuffle, as you say, with the folks from Faraz and their colonies?
Well, it seems more like Orsuria is going to have a problem with its own, well, what it counts to be its own citizens here, but
Yeah, we've not got wind of anybody else really being involved, have we?
Ain't
Not hugely.
nothing
I mean-
civil about a civil war.
quite. But there's always going to be people looking to take advantage of a situation. I mean, look at what happened back home in Seoul. A revolution happens and suddenly everybody wants a piece.
Yeah.
I did hear about that. Seoul's gone and to hear the way that some of the news, well, depends who you're listening to.
I'm sure
Some
it does.
folks been saying they gone and put their king in golden chains and he's barking like a dog and saying what they want him to say. And some folk are saying that the people are seeing some real freedom. Depends who you want to listen to. But sounds like the whole thing was a mighty fine amount of bloodshed and things changed.
That's true.
Well, yes, I think, regardless of whatever else your position on it is, I think what it did mainly is it made other monarchies very worried.
Yeah, done that.
Could have been worse, I suppose, but... Yeah, the idea about people having self-governance certainly resound here. The thing you gotta understand is that, well, what was the fancy Sulian term that the orcs sometimes use? Laissez-faire, leave alone, it basically means. Osiria's kind of always had a arm's length relationship with us here. I suppose they protect us in a sense. You know, they protect their trade lanes. They got their own guards here, their armies certainly, but a lot of stuff, well, we manage on our own. Sometimes that's deliberate, and well, sometimes you can't depend on someone who's 3,000 miles away to respond quickly.
Oh, I think that's more or less the point. Even with things like magic, it's
you can
long,
send a
long
message.
way back to. Yeah.
You can send a message in a minute if you got the right people.
But anyone doing anything is different to that, isn't it?
You can't get people here.
Takes
overnight.
weeks.
Months, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, unless you got a really fast ship, yeah. But, so I think that people here are kind of used to doing things themselves, you understand?
Yeah.
But if it's gonna be, all of us, well, that depends who'd chip in. I mean, like I said, I've traveled around and I got a broad sense for the people who live in the different parts of the colonies.
Independent sorts?
Can be. There's folk who, don't get me wrong, in every city, in every village, you're gonna have some people who think Orsiria is the land where the sun rises, But, that, or the Loch Rest is paved with gold and all of that, and they're just looking out to protect us.
How
And you also get...
How long ago did Orcrest send people over here for the first time?
Oh, I mean,
When
there's
was
always
that?
been some presence. There's been talk about them up in the garrisons on account of that last law they passed about putting in the tax collectors, ensuring compliance and that.
No, but I mean, a lot of people didn't start here, did they?
Oh,
No.
Most people didn't. They came here.
Some, yeah. I mean, there's a lot of people who are homegrown Sundren, I'm... Truth be told, don't 100% know where I was born, as say I was adopted, but, but my parents, well, they were third generation Sundren.
So how long-ish has it been?
Oh, since folk first
first set foot on these shores, like
300 years, I think.
300 years, thereabouts.
Wow.
So, not in everywhere. They've come, they've gone. There's been wars. Some folk have claimed more land. Some folk have taken land from others.
I mean, that's not that long. That's
not
not even a
really.
lifetime for some people.
No, that's what, half a Elvish generation?
Yeah. What about the people who were here before?
Oh, I mean, some of them are still here. As I said, there's a whole bunch of the Chin still on the outsides.
Yeah, we met some of them.
What you gotta understand.
And the Yonti, yeah? Them too.
Oh, them's on the western side, you know? They don't come over here. The Achin don't go over there. From what I understand, they're kind of like really old hatreds between them.
Oh, fair enough.
Something about one of them killing the other's gods or something. I don't know. I don't really understand a lot of the details. I've spent a bit of time with some of the nicer ones. All said and done, and they've been treating me kindly. In some places, they try to shoot me on sight. So,
Like anywhere then, really.
that's the thing, you know. Especially if you read these rags. She taps the newspaper. Then you kind of get into the idea that all them folk are one folk, but there's a bit more.
That's never a good way to think of anyone.
There's a bit more nuance than that. Like, name. I suppose you was all ruled by an empress, but name two different cities.
Utu and Ariadne.
Are those people the same? Have they got distinctions between them?
Yeah?
Yeah, exactly. Same as anywhere.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just, folk who live in different places have different ideas.
Oh, of course.
Yeah, like,
That's true.
Wendish person is not a Brighthall person.
Exactly.
And not all Wendish people are one person.
Yeah.
But, there's some shared traditions and that sort of things between groups. Well, and there's certainly shared ideas about who did what and who's wrong about what and who's right about what.
It's hard to sift through that and find out what actually happened.
Yeah. Although generally, most people like to assume that they're the ones in the right and everyone else is in the wrong.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that sounds familiar.
Does.
Now, you've got to understand, I'm right about that. Now,
See what you did there.
so, well, as far as the different sorts of people are concerned in the colonies, I kind of split them into like three loose sort of groupings. There's the big cities like Thunder's Watch and New Altmark and so on, and they're big on cities, lots of rich folk in the cities, the countryside out in the sticks a bit poorer. But, lots of different people, They brought in a lot let people in from all over the world. So they tend to be pretty accepting. And then you go south a bit, you got places like Purity and Johannesland and St. Gregorsville. We call them the faithful on account of, that's where the big churches are based. Church of Purity, clues in the name.
Oh, yeah.
St.
Yeah,
Purity
that's what
makes
it is.
sense.
Yeah. They're pretty good. They're pretty good at taking care of their people, and pretty against the whole slavery thing. So,
Oh, that's something.
but by the region, they are preachy. Now, there's also what you call the cotton bands or the cotton kingdoms to the north and south, and those are where the big farms are, and that's where most of the slavery happens. So, but all three of them would have their own reason to want to break free. The big cities, they'd want their own government. The faithful, they don't want to be under the regency, and the cotton states just want to get rich, and the less interference, the better.
And I'd imagine all the slaves on the cotton states probably want to be free.
Yeah, that's
That
true.
would make
And
sense.
So that's sort of a kind of a whole thing there in itself.
Complicated.
Complicated. Now, we've had a good little chat here, but I should really get going. Tell you what. You you know what? I'll keep an ear out for you. You keep an ear out for me.
Yeah, if we run into each other
Will
in
do.
Thunder's Watch, let's have a drink or something, yeah?
Will do.
Play cards again.
Sure.
Yeah, give you a chance to win back the money you lost.
Well, she stands up, offers a hand.
Shake
Let's,
it.
what is
I shake it.
friends? What is your names again?
Corzin Horhace.
Rest of your
Scamp.
Scamp. Well, name's Miriam Morgan, and I'm sure we'll see each other again, but probably not for some time. You take care, and yeah, I wouldn't worry too much about people being after you. I like the look of the three. I kind of like the cut of the three of you. So
I really don't mind.
you're thinking.
Appreciate it.
Yeah. I don't know what their deal is, but I don't necessarily think it. But fuck it. Let them go. You see a step outside, hold up a hand, and a hawk flutters down to...
Oh.
Message to the other two, fucking hawk. It was right, we were right. Paranoid, she's got a fucking hawk.
And you see her head off. There's some sounds you watch as she saddles up on a horse and rides away.
Now, is the hawk
Cousin
just
so-
a pet or is it a Marjorie? I have questions.
Cousin sort of touches the side of his tricon and says, well, I think we did rather well there, don't you?
Yeah. I mean, she
I mean,
seems
we
to be
could have
actually
done
leaving.
worse.
Yeah. Definitely could have done worse. She was interesting.
So, where do you want to go from here?
Ugh.
All right.
Right, what do we need to do?
We need the
I think-
bounty off Michael, and we need to warn Vasilisa.
Yes,
Yeah.
that's the two things we desperately need to do. I would like to check in with Molly at some point just to make sure everything's fine back in
Oh,
Thunder's
of course.
Watch.
To be honest, out of character, I assume that if I have spells left, we just check in with Molly.
Yeah.
Yeah, just it would be a thing we'd do as a matter
Well,
of
like, if
It
I've
is a
got
thing we're
spells
trying
left,
to do
like, of
daily.
course.
Nothing has come up.
Yeah. I just feel like we'd probably do it every evening if I had sending around. Like,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah,
Because why wouldn't you, you know?
of
Yeah.
course.
And like similar with Clara every couple of days, I feel like we probably check in with Clara
Yeah, actually.
periodically with the Grimanis.
That's the
like,
point. I
you
mean,
know.
if Clara is on the continent even at this point, that'd be a useful thing to know.
Last you checked, she was in up a mountain somewhere.
Ah.
Fair enough.
Still trying to get the precise location down.
Yeah, still fiddling about in the Dreamfold. No, fair enough. Yeah, we need to get the bounty off Michael.
It's a little
Alright.
complicated because it's not. Is it an official bounty? It's not, is it?
No,
It's
it's a kill this person for large amounts of money bounty.
Yeah, it's a rich people bounty, isn't it? Different.
Where do we even go for that?
Less of a bounty and more of just a hit.
Yeah.
I mean, I could. Can you scry on somebody from a name?
Yeah.
I could try and scry on one of the Vandastars, I suppose. Do we know any other names other than Percy? Percy's dead, so it can't be him.
I'm sure we
I
could
don't think
find
you
out.
actually have heard of any of their names.
No. I mean, could I just
But
say,
what-
show me the oldest member of the Vandastar family? Like, is that a thing that's allowed or not? Probably not.
That's something you can do with that's sort of shit I allow with like future and past vision, but
But not with this.
the
yeah.
defaults default scrying you kind of need to be more
What
specific.
do we actually want to see of them?
Find out where they are, what they're doing.
Yeah, I mean, I just don't know how we
But-
control the bounty without knowing something about them.
All right, suggestion then. If we assume this is just like a generalized thing that anybody who knows about can take it up on, then would it help to know at what point this was taken out at? Like, the circumstances surrounding that?
Could do a
If it
past
was-
one on that.
That was my thinking. If we know that it's just, okay, they've said to someone, kill this person for X amount of gold, then we just find that person.
Right, well, we know it wasn't an individual they've hired.
Or if it's a case of, right, well, make it known to X, Y, and Z then, that
Yeah.
I
Did
will
they
pay...
just shout it in a bar, or did they talk to a crime family? What are they doing?
I
Yeah,
mean,
like,
knowing
they've
what
gotta
they did
have-
do, that'd be really helpful.
Yeah.
Yeah. Actually, what am I talking about? Mildred went after Michael, and she knew who she was going after. Just ask her.
She's gonna love another sending from me, but let's do it.
Yeah, where did they hear about it?
Yeah.
I mean, it's a useful thing to know.
No, it is. I'll send to her now, I guess. Gather the spirits together again. Mill Hill, darling. Where did you hear about bounty on Michael? Looking for source. Any information? How's it going? Any problems?
I miss you.
Scamp misses you. Oh, fuck.
Ha.
Cecilia puts her head in her hands like, oh, I didn't mean to say that. Bye-bye.
Celestia, darling,
Yeah.
call me back in 10 minutes. I'll ask the person who heard it. 10 minutes later.
Basically the same sending.
Yeah,
Pretty
you
much.
get a response back. Right. Tina heard it when she was drinking in Thunder's Watch. Got it from some orc named Bruno, a banger, who heard it. Sorry, heard it from someone else.
Bruno Banger.
Oh.
Well, he's dead, so we can't ask him.
Dead lead. I mean, oh, that was in perhaps poor
Hey.
taste.
Well done.
But we do know someone. Well, we know who killed him.
Oh, yeah.
That's
Who
true.
is heavily involved in whatever's going on in the criminal underground.
Oh, yeah, we could ask the dragon, couldn't we?
Could you
We
send
could
to
ask the
Lapsang?
dragon.
You send to a dragon? You probably can, can't you?
Didn't you send to Jeffrey once?
I did. He didn't say anything worth hearing, but I'm sure I can send to fucking Jeffrey. I can send to Lapsang.
If you can't, there's something very wrong with the world.
Yeah, if I can send to Jeffrey but not Lapsang, that feels insane.
Well, I have heard that some dragons have like natural magical immunity, but it's worth trying.
I mean, he does magic, doesn't he?
Yes.
Okay, so I send to Lapsang, see if he's heard anything.
Yeah.
Lapsang. Darling. I don't know why this amuses me so much. I'm such a dickhead.
It amuses all of us, don't worry.
Heard anything about Michael John Boot? Bounty. We're trying to get it cancelled. He inherited Vandasar estate. Vandasar's angry. Bruno involved?
I say hi.
Scamp pillow. I had two left.
The spirits return. Hello, Scamp.
Aww. He says hello.
Hey.
Celestia, I will look into it. This sounds familiar. Something rings a bell. I will send to you when I know something. Farewell.
Alright, he's going to look into it and send to us, so that's helpful.
Alright, good to know. In the meantime, I still think our best bet is to look at the moment the let's call it what it is. The hit was taken out on Michael.
I think it's worth trying, isn't it?
Yeah, I can't see any harm of it.
Bugger it.
I mean, we do then have to do the whole discharge the magic thing.
We do a bit. Is that okay?
Well, it's one, so it's
better than
we can do it.
Build up, really, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
If it's one and done, we're no worse off than we were.
Yeah, definitely. So if we go up to the room, I guess, and do it there, because we're not going to do it in the fucking pub, are we?
Yeah.
And hopefully it's not yet checkout time, because that would
I'll
be
say
embarrassing.
you have a bit of time. Yeah.
Yeah.
Checkout's at noon. You're fine.
So what should I say? Show me the moment the bounty was taken out on Michael? Does that make sense
Yeah.
of the wording?
Use his full name.
Michael John Boot.
Yeah.
I sit down on the floor, I spin the eye. Show me the moment the bounty was taken out on Michael John Boot. Just get like a random Michael. Like the nearest Michael with a bounty on him. I don't know why I didn't think to say the surname with that.
I want you to kill my husband. He's a
Wouldn't it be great if
bastard.
that was how it worked? Just the nearest Michael that's had a hit out on him.
And I want you to do that floozy as well.
Oh God.
Oh dear.
He's getting incriminating evidence on some random domestic murder. No. You
So not worth the spell to do the switch, that either.
into the water. The eye takes you down until a bubble comes forward, not far downwards, and you find yourself in a richly furnished, I'm trying to think what this would be. Yeah, a richly furnished parlour. There is a tea set arranged with beautiful sort of Haldanic china. There are again beautifully coloured and patterned drapes in kind of imported Tyrian styles. Everything about this room speaks of a certain degree of not gaudy, fairly tasteful wealth. The kind of wealth that comes from having had it for at least 3 generations.
Old money.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's not entirely the same hints that you would expect from an aristocratic family, though. There's a slightly different feel to it, as if there's money, and as you can imagine, this isn't something your mother would say, but it's something you can imagine your Uncle Perrin saying. Darling, they have money, but they haven't got class. So, yeah, weirdly the tone you get is money, old money, but not aristocracy exactly. There are 2 people in the... Yes, it would be 2 people in the room. One, there is an orc. Let's see, this would be... Yes. So there is an orcish man there. Again, bald. Grey skin. Seems to be a popular look for orcs, just a fashionable thing. Or maybe their orcs just have really bad like pattern baldness. They just all just go straight.
Falls out
just,
when
like,
they pass like 20.
Yeah, and it's just like, no, just shave the rest, go buy
Let
into
go.
it. You've not yet met an orc with a comb over, but you never know.
How many eyebrows?
2 eyebrows.
Important
Very
distinction.
important questions.
2 eyebrows, but he does have a black goatee. It's like the full Van Dyke as well, so it's like the mustache above joining down into the beard below. So he is dressed in kind of like a black coat and tails, with a white shirt and a little bow tie, a little black bow tie. And he is currently holding the teapot, pouring it into a beautiful porcelain teacup. The teacup sits beside a human. She is, you'd say, mid-40s for a human. Brunette, tied, carefully bound back hair with a few grey streaks to her. Her clothing, again, has that look of wealth, a comfortable wealth to it. And trying to think of this. Yes. She holds out she extends, kind of raises up the cup and saucer. The orc pours some tea, follows it with a small drop of milk. Thank you, Jan. If you could please check the monocle. Of course, madam. The orc reaches into his breast pocket and produces what appears to be it's a monocle. Although the central part isn't crystal, but is some sort of slightly greenish glass. Isn't glass, but some sort of slightly greenish crystal. And looking at it, you can see there is some very fine dwarven rune work around the edges. He raises it to one eye and peers around the room carefully. Well, I do not detect any scrying sensors, ma'am. Puts it away.
Where do I get one of those?
Good. Well then, we can speak a little bit more freely. Yes, ma'am. I was very disappointed by the ruling that is expected to come through. I was certainly disappointed by the reading of the will, Jan. As you say, ma'am. I'd like you to do something about that. You see a moment of hesitation from the orc. Don't worry. The rest of the family agrees with me. Very well. On the boy. I can't imagine what possessed Uncle Percival to do something like that. So I don't imagine it was him. Someone is playing games with us, yeah? If you say so, Mum. You see I look round at him for a moment, studying him. Mum? Do me a favor, Jan. What's that What was that? What was the color of the dress I was wearing when we first met? Fish and chips, Mom. Okay. Sorry, just checking in case someone, you never know. Face shifter potions are a thing. Of course, Mum. Besides, who would be crazy enough to reply fish and chips to a question like that if they didn't know it was a passcode? Put 5 on the boy. Do you know, who to... Of course, Mum. I have done this before. It will, go to a few reputable couriers who will, pass it on to the right people. I think, perhaps a word towards Thunder's Watch and maybe some of the other cities, just in case he decides to take the money and run. Oh, if he took the money and run, that'd be fine. I'm more worried about what this unseen player is going to do with him. Either way, get me my damn estates back. Yes, Mom. The vision closes in.
I relay everything. Yeah, because I wouldn't withhold anything. I'll just say I relay everything.
All right.
So his niece.
That's complicated.
Very complicated. Interesting, though.
All right.
I don't know how we get the hit taken off.
No.
Well, we at least need a name. Would Michael know what Vandasar's niece was called?
Possibly. He did work for the family, didn't he?
Yeah.
Just do all the sendings today, couldn't we?
As you prepare your sending, however, another sending comes to you.
Ah.
As you hear a voice in your head.
Oh, hang on.
Celestia. Lucetta Vandasar. Most likely. Resides in Newmark. 5,000. Impressive. No direct trace, but people talk, if incentivized. Afraid this bounty is persistent. Farewell.
You see, he makes the end of a sending sound so good.
Bye!
That's
Are
not a
actually the
pie.
first few things that came up.
Whoops. Hang on, let me count that.
Yeah, you're 11 in.
11 in. Whoops. Definitely replying. Yay, compliment. Thank you. Look at the other two.
We'll follow this up.
We'll follow this up. Find good tea.
Yeah, you go to the emotion, but it's not actually your sending, so it just automatically sends. There's no spirit trace for you.
It just happens with other people. Interesting.
Yeah, it's like Oksana's sendings.
Ah, it's a wizard sending, effectively, isn't it? Yeah, of course.
Did we establish whether or not he can see spirits?
No, he can't, can he?
But yeah, it would have to be.
I feel like we established that at some point. I could be
Yeah.
going mad, though, like, correct.
I'm just clarifying that out of character for myself.
I don't think you have established one way or the other
Oh,
that
fair
no
enough.
spirits came to you during that sending.
No, that's fair.
All right, fine.
I don't think anything has been clearly established on that.
So we might have to go to Newmark.
All right. Well, that's only a little ways up the coast from Thunder's Watch.
But what are we gonna do? How are we gonna make it go away? We can't just.
No idea.
Well, you
I mean,
can
ways
be
to make
very,
a
very
You
persuasive.
can be very persuasive. Other ways to make a bounty go away include faking somebody's death. But no, that
Yeah.
causes a whole host of problems because inheritance and all that bullshit.
Yeah, I had thought of that, but also just from the point of view of he's a, whether he likes it or not, at least semi-public figure now. He couldn't just disappear unnoticed.
No, he couldn't.
And he can do so much good if he doesn't.
Precisely, yes.
He needs to stay there.
Alright. Well, look. We at least have a location now.
We do, it's a start. Bit tenuous, but...
And a name.
And a name. Lucetta.
I mean, seriously, if you get within, close enough to her, can you just suggest that she immediately, rescind the bounty?
I could, but then 8 hours later she put it back up.
Also,
I mean, I
you
could
said
tell
that
her
she
to...
said the family were in agreement. That means it's not just her. Unless she lied, which is always possible.
I mean, I could do, the 30 days telling people to do stuff spell, but again, that only buys us 30 days. It's only one member of the family. There are a lot of problems with that. I'm not saying I wouldn't, I'm just saying it's worth thinking about the issues with it if we do choose to go that way.
Alright. This might require getting some further background on the family, but if we could embarrass or discredit the family in some way that the bounty that they put out would be considered null and void.
I don't know. I think it's too big a family. It's a lot. That's a lot.
That'd be hard.
Depends how many skeletons they have in their closet.
True.
I'm not sure people will care enough out here.
I don't know. It's difficult. Very
suppose.
difficult.
They're not a political power, are they? They're a financial power. They're going to care less about image.
Just really rich, as far as I understand it.
Yeah, that's true. Although if they demonstrably have broken the law in any way that is too extreme to ignore.
I don't know. The law feels loose out here.
Oh, it's very loose. But
The
my
sheriff
point being
and
is
the
that
judge and the coroner were just the same person wearing different hats, so I just don't have the most faith.
And turns out that one badly hatted individual is in the pay of some of those dwarves.
Yeah.
He runs that whole town.
The
He's
dwarves
everyone.
might be worth looking into as well. I mean, the dwarves are worth looking into, obviously, but for the bounty as well, because they're involved, aren't they? Also, we might
Maybe
bloody find Eurist.
Yeah.
it would seem so. Yeah.
It might be that they're a mutual enemy. I don't want to work with this family of definite murderers, but we might be able to get them to leave us alone if we help them with a bigger problem.
Possibly.
It wouldn't be a bad idea to check in on where Eurist is now.
Well, he's not scryable, is he, usually?
Not always, no.
And we've no idea of knowing... Like, last time we scryed on him, that was a future time, so we've no idea if that's even happened yet.
We don't know when that is, just having a picnic with someone. Could be anywhere, really. Difficult. Oh shit, there is something else that he's doing quite urgently. Colena's mage.
Yeah.
Need to send to them, probably today.
Alright, yeah, that's
Oh yeah,
definitely
you
a
didn't
thing
let them
that
know
needs
about
doing.
the thing,
I
did
forgot
you?
about that, I just forgot. I got caught
Better
up in
do that
talking
right
about
now.
pool last night and didn't think about it. Shit. That doesn't have to be
no drama
right
at
this
the present,
second,
I
but it
suppose.
should be soon.
Maybe it should be, because we're likely to just forget again.
Well, yeah, so
Also-
do it right now. Yes, Corzin, what were you going to say?
I was going to say, if If you detected a scry on you yesterday, then presumably that would have been them, wouldn't it?
Yeah, probably.
Unless Quilena has a whole team of scrying people.
Probably not. I mean, Drow aren't that into arcane stuff, and mages are reasonably expensive. You usually get, what, 1 per unit of Ebengard? Is that right?
You're also
Good to
aware
know.
from the mages that you've encountered that scrying is actually, that level of divination is actually quite an involved, often specialist discipline.
So you couldn't just fire scries out.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
like it requires a very not like any a fresh university graduate ain't gonna cut it.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, we're talking someone of Oksana's level.
Yeah, honestly, to some degree, being able to land Pippin, her mage, speaks to the wealth and power at her disposal.
Yeah. Okay, I'm gonna gather my spirits together again. Pippin. Darling. Don't know why it's so funny to me. It's so unimportant. It's so unimportant. I only got 25
But it's
words.
such a Celestia thing. I love it.
Can reinstate commission. Major. Gushy job. Nice house. Debts paid. Will take 3 months. But all confirmed. Can I count on you? Deal?
Celestia, roll a luck check.
It wouldn't go to anyone if it wasn't Pippin, though, would it?
Modern, a lot of
Oh, redirection.
Pippin is a.
I thought they didn't have that with Drow. But we established that, didn't we?
With Drow, no, but they're on a ship.
But they're on a ship.
Oh,
And a
cool.
lot
I
of
assumed it was a Drow ship.
lot of modern
but,
ships do have that.
I actually thought of that, but I assumed they didn't. But hey ho.
No, we might have established that they don't, but I wouldn't check.
13?
13 is actually high enough.
Yeah.
You had about a 40% chance of getting it.
Ah, fair.
So you do get a response. Yes. Warning. Ship has redirect. In future, pose as informant. Need to speak to me directly. I'll send to you. I think it's 25 words.
Well, that sounds like a deal.
All right.
Got to pretend to be somebody else in future because apparently they've got a redirect.
Well, now we know
Catch him
that.
while
At
he was
least.
in the scrying room.
What was that?
You just happened to catch him while he was in the scrying room.
No, that's fair. I assume if there was anything new, he would have told me.
Yeah.
All right.
Well, that's that done. Excellent.
Yeah.
I didn't forget for another whole 24 hours about that.
What about spies? Sometimes you have to wait a long time before they have something meaty.
Yeah. No. There's probably going to be nothing for ages. That's the thing. Like, I'm aware of this. This is a slow burn. It's not like he's going to know everything now. Like,
It might be an idea to tell them to send to you as soon as they make landfall.
oh, not a terrible idea, actually.
Because we don't know exactly where, but we do know at least what, relatively speaking, the travel times are going to be then.
Yeah.
Has it been too long for me to reasonably assume he's still in the sending room?
It's been like 2 minutes.
He's probably still there, isn't he? I'm not going to waste another sending on, like, informant, need to speak to Pepe. That seems stupid. Really sensible for future, but for right now, no.
Yeah.
Send as soon as you're on land. Location, any information. Anything else you hear before then, even small things useful. Glad we have a deal.
Understood.
That's all you get.
Ooh, interesting.
So, what is your next plan?
Ugh.
It'd be useful to know if there is a pattern or a schedule as to when they attempt to scry on you. I don't imagine that there is, but...
Nah, I mean, would it be my reasonable guess that they would literally do it at different times so that I wasn't expecting it?
That's a fair guess to take.
Because, that's what I'd do. Yeah. I wouldn't like, scry at the same time every day.
It's a sensible
I'd be like,
measure.
2 p.m.
2 p.m. scrying time. No, you essentially just roll dice for what time of day you want to scry at.
Yeah.
Unless you have, if you're just doing, scattergun scries, if you don't know a specific time you need to be looking at them for, that's what you do.
The thing is, I'd do it at a different time every day. Also,
Yes,
now that
that's
the
true.
mage that can do scrying is in with us, and he knows that if he tells her anything too good, no deal. It's a bit less
You can
scary.
Yeah, you can tell her whatever the hell he likes.
Yeah, you can say I'm, on the loo or whatever if he wants.
Yeah. Alright. Good to know.
I mean, that's assuming he can be trusted, which...
Probably best to assume he can't.
Yeah.
You gave him a tempting offer. Although, I think Scamp's right. We just got to be careful not to reveal any important information about us.
Oh yeah, I mean, we still should never say anything about where we are. Or anything hugely important unless we're Sanctum, because, let's be honest, it's not just going to be her scrying on me.
Yeah.
She's on one ship, I'm sure my mother is... Well, I don't know if she's on another ship.
Or Adrin, or whatever.
Or Adrin. I mean, other people will be looking.
So, what's our next thing to do?
I don't know, it's hard.
Well,
No.
Thunder's Watch is on the way to New Altmark.
Yeah?
We could head back in that direction.
We've
or
definitely
we could
got to go back there anyway, don't we?
Or we could go further up the river to Imita.
We could do.
Oh, I do want to go there.
How far away are we from,
So,
respective to Thunder's Watch
are
versus
about
there?
30 miles from Thunder's Watch. From the map, you were from where Imita was marked on your map.
I'm looking at the map now. Are we? Is Herbertsville past where the river forks?
No. Let me just Let me just check my scale. So,
Yeah, sorry, I don't have a map in front of me.
Right, no, that's fine. I still need to get that updated map to use.
You're good, don't worry.
No worries. So that's 1,000.
Been a lot to do lately, it's fine.
Oh hell yeah!
Oh yeah.
So, okay. Imitar is roughly 300 miles upriver
Ages.
of
Oh
Thunder's
boy, yeah,
Watch.
'cause there's no
So
scale
you
on
are-
this map.
Yeah,
Shit.
no. There is a scale, but it's right down at the bottom. I should get you a zoomed-in version of just the colonies. But you are about 30 miles in Herbertsville from Thunder's Watch. Imitar is about 270 odd miles further upstream.
Okay.
So, travelling by... I mean, don't get me wrong, with your ludicrously fast horses, you could be there in 3.5 days.
Then it'd be 3.5 days back.
But yeah.
Yeah.
It would be then a week for
Yeah.
you to get back.
Ooh, that's a long bloody way, isn't it? I want to go, I think we should, but I worry in a week what will have happened to Michael.
Yeah, I tend to agree. In which case, then,
Yeah.
I think possibly heading back to Thunder's Watch and from there to New Altmark is not a bad idea.
Yeah.
Because if we can nip this in the bud as quickly as possible, then it buys us at least the relative amount of freedom it'll take to do that. Also, by the time we've done that, we don't know how far away your sister is, so there's that to consider as well.
I mean, if she's getting closer, that's then a good time to go to Imitar, which is miles and miles inland.
You make a very good point.
Possibly in a weird, unrecognisable place. And not in a big city.
Yeah, we have to... Okay, stupid question here. She's definitely not been to this part of the world before, has she?
No, she can't have done. It's not been time.
In which case... Right, yeah. I didn't think she would have done, but I wanted to establish that as a definite. The point being is...
The Underdark doesn't have an entrance here, and I don't remember her leaving for long enough that she could have done. Equally, though,
Right.
I don't know everything in her life, but it seems unlikely.
I'm just saying, then we have to play on her ignorance.
There's a lot of it to play on.
Oh, there's so
Precisely,
much.
Scamp. Ignorance, arrogance, we can play with.
Thanks for putting up with me having a near constant tail.
I've got a tail.
Celestia.
Yours is the good kind of tail.
Celestia, this is everybody's problem now, and I honestly, while it's not anything I would have chosen, I'm just glad you're not having to deal with this alone.
You see, that's what worries me about the scrying the other day.
What?
Why were me and Quilena alone with my mother? You two wouldn't leave. How did that happen? I know you wouldn't leave intentionally. Unless you were guarding... I mean, you could literally be guarding the door or something. I could just be being paranoid, but...
No, it's fair to be paranoid.
Well, look.
It worries me. Like, there's not a situation in which I would leave you alone in something like that, and I just don't see you two doing it.
We ought to have been there, and ought implies can.
Yeah.
So, it's a fair question. But, I mean, we don't know what the deciding factor in that potential is.
No. No, we don't. Okay, it's just an unanswered question. I don't know.
I know,
Worries me.
and yes, I quite
That's
understand.
fair. It probably should.
Yeah.
But we'll be careful. We'll be sensible. We
Of
won't
course.
split the group.
Yeah. We're so good at being
Is there-
sensible and not splitting the group.
Is there anything short of her death or a direct order from your mother that would prevent her from trying to track you down until she did?
No. Nothing. Not a single thing.
I didn't think so, but I wanted to make absolutely certain of that. Right then.
Don't like it heading here. It's weird.
No, I quite understand. Well, I think possibly the best thing for us to do in the short term is wait for her to make landfall. We can at least have a better idea then of where, in fact, she is relative to us, and then do what we can in order to frustrate her efforts to find us until we're in a position where we get to choose the moment of
frustrating.
engagement.
We're very annoying.
Well, quite. Yeah. And, she's a fine example of this. Annoyed, angry, frustrated, arrogant people make mistakes. I mean, the whip.
I should check
Yeah.
on that while we're on the road, see if it got picked up.
That was such a good magic item.
I'm so sorry. I'm not sorry.
Never got to use
Sorry,
that.
not sorry about what I did.
Oh, it was so good.
Yeah, it was.
Cool abilities, just oh well.
Oh, it was just...
And now I'm just gonna.
You used it in like a scrying. You just didn't use it in real fight, I suppose.
I'm just gonna have to wait until campaign 2, like some NPC is going to hunt you down with it, and like none of your characters are going to know its significance, but
Well up for that.
Like all unused D&D ideas, it will keep.
Oh yeah.
So, what do you do next? Do you have anything else you
shit.
wish to do before you leave?
Yeah,
We've
we
got to
need
get somebody else back,
discharge.
haven't we? What
Yeah,
did
we're
you
going to
say?
discharge the...
You got to discharge the. You did a scry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Everybody got any rope? We've all got an implausible amount of rope. It's fine.
Right, okay. Sailor.
Really is
Right.
an implausible amount of rope.
It really is. 50 foot of rope is so much rope.
Yeah. Well, actually, no, as I discovered when I recently ordered 50 foot of rope for a set dressing. It's actually a surprisingly small amount of rope. You think it's a lot of rope, but when it's bound up, it doesn't actually take up that much space.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I always thought it would be loads.
No.
I mean, it can be
no.
strapped to the side of a backpack.
Yeah. Also, it really does take quite a lot of rope to wrap around a lighting stand, is a thing I've discovered.
Important knowledge.
Yeah,
If it looks
if you-
fireballs.
If you ever decide to, try and disguise a lighting stand to make it look slightly more period.
Yeah.
So,
Good to know.
50 foot of rope.
you presumably
Presumably Corzin ties me up.
tie you up in there.
Sailoring
Right.
check.
Yeah.
Yep.
I will help.
Good your rope is.
Oh, okay. Then with advantage.
I am helpful.
You are very helpful. That's that ends up being a 25 rather than an 11.
So you are up in the room. As I say, it's fairly Spartan. It was not Spartan. There is that one picture. It's quite nice. There is a window. It does not have glass. It is a shuttered window with kind of like a little latch, and you kind of like open it up if you want air and light.
Cool.
So
Oh, language.
Yes.
Give me 10 minutes.
Right.
Just tie me up. I'll just sit here for 10 minutes. That's fine.
Sorry, can I
Yes.
get you anything? Would you like, a pipe of tobacco? A shot of whiskey?
No, you're fine. This is my favourite place. I'll just sit here and stare into space for 10 minutes.
which you do.
We'll
Mostly out of
have a
spite.
conversation.
Jeffrey, leave her alone.
Spy with
Le-
my little eye.
Jeffrey, don't.
Something
Jeffrey, don't touch
beginning
her.
With
Poking.
get off me, you piece of shit. Unless you want to play I Spy, then we can talk. I Spy with my little eye. Something beginning with C. Yeah, it's the ceiling. You got it right. That could be anything. The floor. Your knife. Scamp. Me. Corzin.
That picture.
How did you know? You're so good. This goes on. For
This
10
goes on
minutes.
for 10 minutes until Scamp has finished drawing.
Oh, we had some high quality bullshit today, haven't we?
Oh, yeah.
You raise the eye and the ring, place one in front of the other, and Celestia is sucked into it. Roll me a D6.
D6. Bisexual D6. 5. A bisexual 5, if you will.
Okay.
None of
Like
those
two bi
straight
people
fives
high-fiving
around
each
here.
other.
Oh, yeah, that's not... I was going to say,
No,
what
no,
does a
none of those
bisexual
heterose-
5 look like?
By 5.
5 by 5.
5. Just thinking about where this will put you.
It's doing thinking. I don't like it.
The bubble floats up towards you, and you find yourself walking. Would you be walking? At this step point, you'd be walking forwards. You are short. You appear to be a halfling. You are wearing a red, the red jacket of an Osirian captain.
I pull down a strand of my hair and look at it.
It's curly, it's red.
Oh, fuck. Hello.
You are accompanied by a number of other soldiers, some halflings, some humans, a couple of orcs, halflings actually, and your little group is providing an escort to a wagon loaded down with heavy crates, including one very large crate. Actually, now thinking about this, it would actually be 3 wagons, because I'm thinking about the scale of stuff that they're bringing, loaded down with large crates, including a couple of very large crates. You can see that. Actually, yeah, no, that's all that you're doing for the moment. You appear to be moving through some sort of moderately built-up city, matching up to the same broad sort of colonial architecture you've come to associate with the 13 colonies.
Mm-hmm.
What would you like to do?
We're just walking and providing protection for people.
At this point, yeah.
Who are we providing protection for? Can I get a look at them?
Yes. Glancing around, you can see that there are 3 wagon drivers for the 3 wagons. All of them fairly dour-faced halflings who are kind of keeping to themselves and driving the horses. Make a perception check.
These dice have been so dramatic today, I don't even know which one to pick. 21, actually.
Ooh.
You hear a sort of scratching sound coming from from the wagon nearest to you.
Ooh. I want to go have a look.
Step over to have a look. As this is, you can see that that you are now moving towards the outer edges of this city, getting more towards countryside. Okay, you look there. It's a large sealed crate, nailed shut.
Like Lapsang came in.
Sorry?
Like Lapsang came in.
Not dissimilar.
Like a similar size?
A little bit smaller than that, but yeah, pretty large.
Plausibly another dragon.
This one doesn't. You do notice that there are some cracks, like the top parts, the tops of the crate don't look necessarily well made. There are some like gaps between the planks.
Can I have a look in any way? Is that possible?
They're pretty high up. Do you want to try and get up onto the wagon?
Yeah.
Okay, as you move to get up, one of the other halflings looks. Captain, what are you doing?
Just taking a rest for a moment.
We're kind of on the job. Ma'am.
Well, I'm the one in charge. I figure I can get away with it for 5 minutes.
Right you are, ma'am.
I do.
Yeah. You clamber up to take a bit of a look. As I say, the crate is quite high. I'm actually going to want in this body. This is an athletics check. Just roll a d20 and add 2.
Okay. 14.
Okay, it's difficult. You pull up enough to try and get a look. You can see a little bit of light filtering in, but not much. But as you kind of pull down the side, you hear just a brief sort of hello.
Hello.
Please. Look, I'm not sure where they're taking us. Could you get us out?
Who are you?
Name's Timberton. They bagged us. They bagged the 3 of us. Me, So they bagged the three of us back when we were in Wending.
Shit.
Yeah. Listen, I've played along up to this point, but I don't want to go wherever they're taking me. I don't know where they're taking us. Please.
So there are 3 of you in there?
Yeah. Me, Shelley, and the dwarf.
Right.
They-
are you 2
No,
so you're not dwarves? What?
Wait, no, we're halflings.
Right.
The dwarf hasn't really given their name. They don't trust the situation.
And who is
Find them.
who is the they who bagged you? I'm worried we might have been given a fake name for this job.
I don't know them. Last thing I remember was meeting some silver-haired dwarf woman, and then I woke up on a ship.
What ship was it? Do you know?
No idea. They didn't let me out to sea.
How long were you on it? Where did you started in Wending? You said.
Yeah, we were on it for months. So
It's a long journey.
yeah, they treated us. Well, we were captives, but we had a certain amount of run of the ship. Some places we couldn't go. No one would tell us where we were going. There were a few of us, probably about 40 total. But
Gee.
when we arrived, they split us up. They kept us on they kept us in a warehouse for a bit, and then started moving us out a few at a time.
Wow. Okay. That is
Listen,
not
I
good.
don't know what this is about. I'm just a chemist, okay?
You're a chemist.
Yeah. I don't know what this deal is. They said there was going to be some work that they wanted me to do, and I'd be paid for it. But I know where I'm being bloody already kidnapped.
Right. Yeah, a chemist would kind of make sense. Well, bugger. Is there anything with a name on anywhere?
Give me an investigation check.
Yeah. That's a 16.
All of the crates are marked with a gold 5-pointed star.
Yeah, there we go.
There are, kind of looking through, you can see through another couple of places where the crates aren't are a little bit not necessarily too properly packed. You can see the glint of metal inside some of them, but yeah. And the I'm trying to think whether there's anything else that can come up. 16 was that?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. You can see there is a little bit of looking at one of the wagon drivers. There is a little flash of white that you see in one of their jackets.
Ooh.
Coats.
Like a bit of paper?
Yeah, like a bit of paper.
Okay, I don't know. Is there a way I can try and get a better look at that? Probably not.
Good. It's kind of rolled up in their pocket. So,
Nah, probably not.
So up to you.
It's the past. I know that I can't do anything
Yeah,
crazy
if you
outlandish.
break too much. If you break too far out of what actually happened, the vision will collapse.
Yeah.
So, if you want to try and investigate, you've got to do it in a way that doesn't break what really happened. By this point, you are now out, or you've just left the city and are now starting to get out into the countryside. Some of the other soldiers are looking at you moving around a little nervously.
I think I'm gonna try and look around at any features of the landscape rather than try and go in this man's pocket, because I just don't think, past-wise, I can do that.
Okay, you get a good feel for the city behind you, for the skyline. You reckon you would recognise it if you saw it again. But there's no obvious markings, and you're not far enough out that you'd necessarily see road markings or anything like that. Milestones.
I just try and memorise what the carriages look like and
Yeah.
any particular details.
You do your best to memorise the faces, the carriages. I mean, you recognise at least some of the faces. You cashed one of them in earlier today for some coinage.
Oh no, I don't mean Mill Hill's lot.
No,
That's
but I
of
mean,
no
like
interest to
you
me.
try and memorize the faces of the wagon drivers and so on, but like also you
Mostly hired wagon drivers, yeah.
you also then sort of like, this is a really awkward moment. You're like, oh yeah, I handed your severed head in today. Ooh.
Oh dear, yeah.
Oh dear. I'm going to kill some of these people. And I think that by that point,
Yeah.
you come to the end, and back in the world, Celestia blinks.
Get ready with the silence. We might need
Alright.
it.
She looks around,
Hello?
narrows her eyes, studies.
Do you know who we are?
Who's asking?
I am. Am I right?
Yeah, we are.
Yeah, we are. That was the question.
And who are you?
So no, you don't know who we are. Good to establish. Do you know who you are?
Of course I know who I am.
Always worth checking. What year is it?
Seem to be asked. I mean, don't get me wrong. I expect you to be answering questions now that seeing as you appear to have tied me to a chair.
For your own safety for now.
What the flying fuck?
What's your name? You sound familiar.
I've got nothing to say to you about that. What did you
Okay.
do with the rest of my company?
Oh, you're... Millhill?
She narrows her eyes.
Okay.
What did you do with the rest of my company?
Oh, they're fine.
Yeah.
You're not yourself right now. It's fine.
Yeah.
They're where you left them.
Next question. What did you do to me?
This is
Technically, we did nothing.
yeah. This is, as best I can describe it, an out-of-body experience.
Sorry. That's funny if you know more about what's going on.
Hilarious, I'm sure.
Yeah, look, just be assured, we mean you no harm. We are, not here to torture or do anything, unseemly to you. It's just that we happen to be in a situation right now where, for a limited time, we have the ability to communicate, and it would be just useful for us to know where you last remember being and what you were doing.
Okay, Corzin, make a persuasion check, please.
Okay. He's so good at this. A 10.
I'm going to add a D4, but I don't think it's going to help. There's a whole 2 more.
No
for
harm in
you.
it.
Why not? Yeah.
I have an extra 2. So
Okay.
12.
12.
It's 17. Think for a moment. Well, yeah, about timing wise. It's 1798 to answer your question.
Okay,
Alright,
so nearly the same. Probably.
It is 1798 now. It is
Yeah.
the same year.
Oh yeah, but we know it's the past.
Right. Do you remember the date?
Thanks for a moment. Sure. It's the 5th of Full Fruits.
Right.
Okay. So not long ago.
No. We're a
Right,
little bit
what day is
further
it
on.
today?
Ooh.
It's the
Well-
10th of full ripeness.
Must have kept me drugged for a long time then.
We
Not
did not
really,
do
no.
any such thing.
Have Have you noticed your body's the wrong one?
Like
I don't
say,
know
this
what.
is
Listen, I've heard about some of the weird experimental shit they're trying with necromancy in Thrine. Is this what this is? Have you somehow ripped my body out and put it in someone else's? Or ripped my mind out and put it in someone's body?
Oh my...
as far as we can
yeah.
tell, no. That is not
Well.
what has happened.
It's only 10 minutes and you won't remember it. In fact, it won't have happened for you. So...
She just clams up.
We'll put you back where you were. Well, we won't. It'll just happen. It's
Yeah,
a whole
this is-
thing.
This is only temporary, it will end. I am sorry for the inconvenience, but while you are here, anything that you can tell us about where you are and what you were doing would be useful to us.
The
I know
company...
you've no reason to trust us, and this is all exceedingly weird, but trust me when I say that... Go on.
No, you go ahead. It's not going to help.
Well, look... Please believe me that when I say if we wanted to do you harm, we absolutely could. I mean, you're tied to a chair right now. We're not...
You're not helping your case.
Yeah. The company you're working for... are you working for them now? Have you deserted yet? Are you a wanted criminal yet?
Why would I desert?
'Cause you were smuggling people by accident?
What?
Yeah. It is.
You were
a
doing
fact.
a job for... Was it Gold Star? That's their name, isn't it? That's what... and then there were people in a box, so you didn't like it, and you... ran off with your company.
You're a person of principle, and so are we.
Right. So what do you want to know?
I don't know, because we honestly could just go talk to other you now.
Well, look. Point being is, we seem to have got you at a moment of significance. What were you doing? But what was the last thing you remember doing before you arrived here?
We were transporting some car... Well, given what you've just said, I thought we were transporting some arms to the relay point where someone else was going to pick them up and carry them on.
Right.
And you were ordered to do this by your superiors in the army?
Well, of course not.
Smuggling.
This was a personal arrangement. Since you
Alright.
seem to already know about the whole thing with Gold Star.
Yeah, anything you can tell us about them that you maybe can think of now that you might forget in the future?
Yeah, how did you first get into contact with them, even?
There's a dwarf, Rune Carver.
Rune Carver. Alright.
She handles the in-between. She works for Gold Star. Gives us our pay. Deals with the negotiation for work like this.
You didn't happen to get a first name with that, did you?
She's just Miss Rune Carver.
Miss Rune Carver, alright?
Okay. And
Pretty-
how do you get in touch with her?
She gets in touch with us.
Well,
Easy enough. Our shift schedules are fairly well known if you know the right people.
Okay.
But we'd meet at an office in Newmark, rented, but
Can you give us the address? Oh, you're about
32
to, sorry.
on 5th Street.
32 and 50. Okay. Okay. Oh, when's your birthday? Because if you tell us, we can give you a surprise present, and without even having to ask anyone now.
she just gives you a really flat look.
It's the most wholesome question to ask somebody here from the past.
Oh, no.
So cute.
Third of first circle. Third of full circle.
Oh, I've lost my pen. Where is it?
Beginning of the year. All right.
Oh, we've missed it this year. What would you like as a birthday present?
I don't know. A new carbine.
Carbine.
I'm sure we can sort that out.
Lovely. There we go. I'll let Michael know.
Well, this has been a really weird experience, but let me just say, she blinks, and Celestia, you return.
Again, I relay everything. Yeah.
Alright, well, we
That
did
could have been
manage to
worse.
at least get something.
Yeah.
Did you? There was a dwarf. Did you see them at all?
I didn't, did I?
No.
No, I didn't. I got a name of one of the people trapped in the box, though. Timberton, a chemist. And there was also supposedly
Tim
a dwarf.
Burton.
Yes, Tim Burton, that's the one.
Timberton. It's a popular halfling first name.
Tim
Yeah.
Burton.
Tim Burton, that's the one. Yeah, he's a chemist, and he said there was a dwarf in the box,
Oh.
but the dwarf didn't want to talk.
I don't imagine that's the same dwarf that we were talking about.
I mean, probably not, but...
Well, it could be
Corzin will be
Eurus.
untying Celestia at this point.
It could be Eurus, though.
Could be Eurus.
Could be, I suppose.
Didn't trust the situation.
If you have a name, maybe it's worth scrying on that person now, assuming they're in a place that can be. Not right now, but
No,
in the
but maybe
immediate
on the
future.
road.
Yes. So we have a name of a dwarf with gold star called Rune Carver. No first name, unfortunately, but
We knew that name
Definitely
already,
we've
though.
heard Rune Carve before. Keeps
Yeah.
coming up. Might
was
be
that the
worth
same
scrying-
dwarf that was talking with Marissa?
Possibly. Yeah, I think it might have been.
Yeah, that was the same name.
Maybe
Right.
worth scrying on her on the road as well,
Yes,
while
definitely.
we're on our way.
Definitely. All right. Well, that was at least
Productive.
somewhat enlightening.
Yeah.
Look at us learning stuff. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think maybe we should we should put our heads together and think about what a catch-all introduction for anyone who does come back as a result of this we can give to them. That
I'll have like a little
hopefully-
script.
Well, in
Hello.
a sense,
You've been temporarily displaced. Don't worry, it's not going to last long. Soon you will be wiped from existence, and this instance of yourself will cease in any meaningful sense to be alive.
Oh god.
Do not panic.
something that is at least going to make anyone who's even vaguely ambivalent slightly better disposed to us, so we don't have to spend 10 minutes, silencing them.
There's not going to be like a cookie cutter response here that works, is there?
But we're getting into patterns of what's your name, what time do you think it is, or you fell down or had too much to drink,
Introduce
or
you to the
drank
concept
something.
of nihilism.
We're getting there. We've got a routine down nearly.
Have you ever wondered what it would be like if there were two of you in the world?
Like, what I said this time was you're having an out-of-body experience, which is, as far as I can tell, a surprisingly accurate description of it.
And in specific.
What happens? Like, some of them have been able to cast, haven't they? We had anyone who can cast?
I
I
haven't
misremembering?
been here. I don't know.
We would have told
We
you.
certainly
Can I
have people
remember?
who think they can cast spells, but of course they're in Celestia's body, so unless it's a spell that Celestia can also cast...
The only
I don't-
person I think you've had has been Petraleon.
Yeah, and he couldn't cast.
He couldn't go.
Wasn't there that cleric woman who spoke a different language to us?
Yes, there was.
That is true.
She didn't cast.
No.
Whether she could or not is another thing. I honestly can't remember, but...
I just really want someone to try and cast sending to themselves and see what happens.
That'd be sort of amazing.
Yeah.
That would,
I don't know, though.
That-
I mean, with the
that
pride
would require
spirit,
at least 3 things that are fairly fundamental, like realizing you're not in your body, realizing you're not in your time, and assuming that such thing is possible.
I mean,
And
would
then
the pride
getting
spirit
a
do it for
response.
them?
I don't know.
Would you
I
do it
don't
for
know.
them?
Mm.
Or don't do it for them.
Shakes a little bit.
What
Do you know
about
who it is?
wizards?
Wizards need stuff.
Some stuff.
Yeah,
I suppose they
They
need
need
focus,
components,
don't
don't they?
I mean, they need, the smallest things I've seen are some rings or... They've always got something, haven't they? It's unusual they
what-
don't have
what
anything.
if-
And if they're tied up as well, they
What
usually need
if,
their hands.
like, Sander came back? Like, just from, like, a month ago or something. And they tried to send to themselves. Because they'd know about this stuff. Or they'd
do,
listen.
But if they come back to my body, they don't have their spirits, which are how they do their magic.
Yeah, but would the Rainbow Spirit do it for someone they knew?
Would you do it for Sander? Yeah, maybe.
I just want to know if it'd work.
It'd be fun.
That,
It sounds
I mean,
fun.
if that's possible,
Because we don't often see people who are already out there. Like okay,
well,
we
for
did
a while
with
we
Marissa.
thought it had to be people who were dead, but no, that's definitely not the case.
My head
Yeah. It's just because it had been someone we'd been talking to so recently. And with Marissa as well, it just got me thinking.
I mean, maybe a useful thing to think about is if you had the ability to somehow communicate with yourself about something specifically. I mean, if it's, telling your past self about something, it's obvious, but if it was, yourself from somewhere in the future, I don't even know
I think
what
maybe
you would
that's how
talk.
Brandy got to where he was, just saying.
Yeah.
Well, he kind of seems to have deliberately gone out of the way to communicate information to his past self.
We're already risking getting into Brandy territory. It might be worth not playing too much more.
I don't want to be Brandy. Brandy looked like he was hard to be.
Brandy had fallen off the edge of the world a little bit.
He also had his own set of, goals, whatever they may be, and we're not even sure what that was. I mean, the preventing the end of the world is sort of something that everybody has in common.
Oh yeah, every fucking person's doing that, aren't they?
I don't see that there would be a point in not unless that was specifically your goal to end the world. Like, even Olga didn't want the world to end for entirely selfish reasons,
I
but
mean-
she didn't.
The thing is, nothing we ever do works, so maybe we should start trying to end the world.
You know what? If I've sort of gotten to a point where I assume it's the Kraken that wants the world to end eventually.
It wouldn't have
So let's
anywhere
just
live
beat
and
it to
would
it. Let's just do it first, and just to spite
Be
it.
like, fuck you.
I'm imagining this just sort of taking a weird turn, and suddenly the campaign is like you fending off a bunch of do-gooders trying to stop you ending the world.
That'd be such a weird route for this party, wouldn't it?
Really.
World's had its chance. Fuck it.
Well, then it's time to embrace nihilism.
I'm just thinking, like, there'd be this
had
beautiful
a good
scene at some
round.
point where they'd have us and they'd be like, why do you want the world to end? Why would anyone want that? We're like, oh, we just feel like if we try to end it, it won't. And so like, what the fuck is wrong with you?
We tend to screw things up.
So, final decision then. Where do you want, as you pack up your things, as it hits noon and you're about to get kicked out of the saloon, where will you head next?
I guess we go via Thunder's Watch to New Altmark. Am I right?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
I don't know what a goal is, but let's do that.
Then, as you saddle up onto what sort of mounts do you want?
They are very shaggy ponies. Like,
Your
you know those dogs with really
sheep-like
long
shaggy
fur?
ponies.
You know those
Like
dogs, like those little
sheep
toy
ponies?
dogs? Like
Yeah.
little
Yeah.
toy where the hair goes down to the floor.
Oh,
And
yeah.
it's just like a little walking brush.
Like a
They're like
shaggy
that.
pony.
Yeah.
Yes.
I'm just imagining
That's amazing.
Dougal from the Magic Roundabout right
Yes.
Basically,
exactly like Dougal,
ponies.
but a horse. Yeah.
That's amazing.
You
now.
saddle
Those of you
up
who don't know, Google it.
and begin riding your way north, it would be, back toward Thunder's Watch. And that is where we will pick up next time. For now, thank you all for playing. Thank you all for listening. And farewell from all of us here at Flintlocks and Fireballs. Fair seas and natural 20s.
So gather your muskets, gather your spears, we'll plunder the shores of Calcinea. No kraken, storm or spell we fear, so come and sail with us, my dear.